chat room. How are we doing today? I hope you guys are all doing real good. I am having a rough one again, but that's okay. I am just ready to start crocheting. I don't even know what we're gonna crochet yet. We have a short one today. So this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go straight into. We have one Nexpo video that we haven't watched yet. One disturbing thing from around the internet. Considering dyeing your hair orange, do it, do it, do it. You should do it. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I just kind of want to get to getting. I just kind of want to get going on this stuff. Doxy just pushed off of empty space. Yeah, I do it all the time. I'm magic like that. Dyeing my hair orange, but I was waiting for my roommate to get home. Ooh, that's very exciting. Thank you, Reaper with no name. I appreciate you. Thank you. I am going to go ahead and pull up our video. Sorry, I just had to update my computer. My computer had updates to download. And everything's kind of a mess. I had to reset up a bunch of shit. Okay, I think that we're good. I think that we're set up here. I just need to get capturing this. I don't know what we're gonna crochet today. Maybe I'll go get my knitting and I can show you the knitting that we're working on because and next week we'll just start a new project on Monday. I think that's actually a really good idea. Okay, here's this, and it's gonna be a short stream because we're pretty much just streaming until Dungeon Dad goes live, and then we're gonna raid him. Gotta look up the Arctic Fox ginger recipe though. Man, Arctic Fox has good fucking hair dye. I also really like Ugly Duck. Ugly Duckling? It might be Ugly Duckling. I feel like it's Ugly Duck though. They email me a lot. I would be able to find an email really fast. They're for professionals. I guess never mind. No, it is Ugly Duckling. It's Ugly Duckling. I found one. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab my knitting. It's already in progress, but I've only done like 3 rows on it. So you know what? We'll start over. It's fine. And I will find you the pattern because it is a free pattern that I'm working on. And I will show you everything. I'll go ahead and start this here. Sorry, I did warn you that I am a mess. And I will be right back. I'll be right back. Again, thank you to Nexpo for letting us use his content. You are amazing, sir. I appreciate you.
What do you do when you find yourself staring into a space? Empty, yet terrifying. It's a phenomenon that's gained widespread attention in the past couple years due to the nature of our ever-evolving world. Things are changing, closing, being forgotten, and in their wake are derelict spaces that evoke a nostalgic comfort, yet our brains seem to strangely reject them. We feel like we've been there. We associate memories with images that we've never before seen, and for some reason, we become stuck in this trance of eerie fascination. This sensation is caused by liminality, a term deriving from the word liminal, meaning something that's occupying a position at, or on both sides of, a boundary or threshold, something that is within transition. With widespread interest catalyzed by subreddits, forums, and social media, the internet has served as a vehicle for sharing pictures of liminal spaces with others. This has effectively paved the path for various forms of media and online storytelling to capitalize on it, resulting in a myriad of personal stories, creepypastas, and indie games to play on the
Sorry, different
uncanniness
idea.
that
I'm going to
comes
work
with
on
them.
my sweater because I
Contrary to
genuinely
this
just don't
relatively
feel
recent
like
rise in
changing
online
the title and
popularity,
stuff.
Liminal spaces are nothing new.
That's what's up.
In fact, the concept of liminality has always existed among us. We've just never really noticed it.
Today isn't gonna last very long, Quinn. We're just live until Dungeon Dad goes live. Also, hi Aaron, I love you. It's good to see you. Okay. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the biddies. Thank you, that's so nice. I appreciate you.
What is it about source maps that unnerve us? Is it the feeling of loneliness? The emptiness that comes with the very purpose of a landscape?
Sorry, don't be sorry.
Or
That's
is it
okay.
perhaps
As
the
soon as
fact that
Eric
we
gets
can hear
back,
the
we
sounds
should
of other
definitely do the
humans carrying
Phasmo
out their lives in
update
the
because I
distance?
heard that it's huge.
Yet,
That
in
there's a
our
lot
eyes,
going on with
Rinse
it.
and
we're the
cheered.
only ones
Less
here.
than 3.
Have you played it yet with
It's
like
a
brother
funny
or anything?
feeling that a feeling of confused anticipation as we await people that will never come.
Okay,
Contrary to the
excellent.
evidence
Don't play
around
it. Don't
us,
play it, and we'll all play it together for the
buildings,
first time.
Furniture within a cozy apartment, beer in the fridge.
Or I mean, I'm not your dad. You
Nobody
can
ever
do
will.
what you want, but I won't. I won't play it.
Throughout the late 90s and into the 2000s, video games were playing on the trope of liminal spaces without even knowing it. Gary's Mod
Was
and
that
Silent Hill
Happies?
are two that come
That
to
was
mind
Happies.
immediately. And while Gmod was more of an accidental case, Silent Hill was a bit more on the nose. Everything about it is interwoven with the very fabric of what makes liminal spaces so creepy to us. Isolation is always the forefront, with the player being left to explore a town that is years past its time. Hospitals, foggy streets, a theme park,
There we go.
a subway system, and even an apartment that you're unable to leave.
Going to melt into your bed
Every
now.
single
Have a good
game is
night.
Stuck in a bizarre state of transition. Nothing is bustling and alive anymore, but you sure as hell aren't in this place alone.
Liminal spaces do freak me out pretty good. Having the liminal spaces dreams are the worst.
No Players Online is a 2019 indie horror game that takes this notion and cranks it up to 10. Everything about it is liminal. We expect the game to be littered with other players. We have the overwhelming sentiment that the space we're currently exploring was.
So now I
at
have
one
to
time,
wrap this
the home to
again. So
thousands of
sorry.
multiplayer matches.
Give me just a moment.
Yet, we're alone. No players are online, but us. And I think this is where most of the lingering dread of a liminal space stems from. The anticipation, the expectation that someone else should be around, as is life. Yet there isn't. It's the foundational rejection of loneliness that's hardwired into our brains. And when this loneliness is portrayed through art and even photos of reality, that is where the uncanniness sets in.
Oh my God, Aaron! Thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
Autophobia.
I
is
can't
something
even.
inexplicably and terrifyingly
I don't
unique.
know what to say right now.
You
That's
never
so
really know
nice of
until
you
you're
to
in
do
it.
that.
Humanoid Void Sparkler, Rinsen gifted a
At
tier 1
school
sub to
after
Humanoid
hours.
Void.
At a hotel pool when no one's around. The very last one in a shopping mall.
Gotta crush
There
that
are
stuff. Oh, you're so
Sparkler,
nice.
for
Rinsen gifted a
situations
tier
like
1
this.
sub to
And
1
the
dollar.
beauty of the internet is that we're able to share pictures and stories of spaces that terrify us. Together.
We're actually very close
to this month's sub goal. Liminal spaces
That's
and a
rad.
play on our natural
You
fear
just
of
gotta,
loneliness
like-
are terrifying. And regardless if
Oh
we
my
ever figure out
God.
why they're so eerie,
Thank
it's
you
so
so
terrible
much.
that
Sparkler,
they'll
Rinsen
always
gifted a
persist
tier 1 sub to the
in the dark
spookiest
depths
berry.
of the internet.
That's very, very
There's
nice of
something
you.
of a reminder, a memento, a lens into a world
Teeny
that
Wee
is
Night
and
Tony
will
Sparkler,
always be
Rinsen gifted a tier 1 sub to Teeny Wee Night
nothing
Tony.
but a burning, fading,
Teeny
and
ween eye,
distant
Tony.
memory.
That was very funny.
Bogworthy Sparkler, Rinsen gifted a tier 1 sub to Bogworthy.
Everybody say thank you to Aaron. Aaron just kept me fed for next week. Ooh, this one's so creepy.
It's
I'm
late
gonna
at
let
night,
Nexpo do all the
cozied up
explaining
in your
because
room watching
he's
creepy
good at
YouTube
this shit.
videos. There are seemingly endless, but there is one channel that I'd like to highlight tonight. It's called Floresita Dreams.
Oh, never
and at
mind.
first glance of their
He's
channel,
not
we
doing
can
I
notice
Feel
the absurdity with
Fantastic.
their
I'll tell you
thumbnails.
guys about I Feel
The
Fantastic
content
after.
is just as cryptic and heavily resembles various ARGs that we've encountered in videos past.
This is so much less quick than I expected it to be.
It's in Spanish.
Aaron is so lovely.
but that
Aaron
doesn't
is so
discount how
lovely.
strange
I
it
feel
is.
very lucky to have Aaron as a
At the end
friend.
of the day, though, you might be wondering,
Like,
why are we talking about this tonight?
Aaron, thank you
Reaper
so much.
underscore with underscore no underscore name Sparkler, Rinsen gifted a tier 1 sub to Reaper underscore with underscore no underscore name.
Okay, it sounds
Have given 19
maybe
gifts
It's
subs in the
scouring
channel.
for topics to
it
cover.
sounds maybe
I will
tacky
send
to
an
do
email
this
to
while
that person
she
named
just gave me
Joshua.
subs, but not
And
just
link to
like
this channel
because she
and their
gives me
explanation of it
subs and
states the
stuff.
following.
Also
After
because
Spanish
whenever I
cartoons
need
broadcasted in
advice
Mexico,
about like
there used to
anything,
be a
she's
PSA
really good at
showing
helping
missing people
me
with their
figure out
pictures
how
and info
I
on their
feel
last
about
known whereabouts.
situations that I'm
One
not
girl
sure
that showed
of.
up consistently
And
was named
that's
Celine
something that I
Delgado,
really
and her
value
only
about
picture was a
Erin
very
is she
poor
doesn't
quality,
judge me
eerie, and her
when
features
like
were
I'm
very
going through
vague.
something and
The
maybe it's
actual
not my
videos in
best look
Spanish,
or
but from what I
whatever.
understand, they
And
suggest that she
she
doesn't
lets me
actually
know how she
exist
feels
and was
about
artificially
the
made
situation. It
specifically
feels
to
it feels
appear
good to have a
unsettling,
friend
so
like
people would
Erin.
better
Highly
remember the
recommend it.
broadcast. Interesting. The video in question was uploaded on September 2nd of this year and is titled Cinética del Patrón, Celine Delgado. Let's have a look.
Evento. Celine Delgado.
You are literally
Celine
always in
Delgado
my
es un
corner.
patrón de rostros
It
artificiales.
feels good, and like
Los
I
rostros
just
son
know that.
construidos
I just know that, and it
artificialmente
feels
simulan ser
good to
caras
know that. And I
humanas
hope you
para
know the
generar
same
emociones
about me and
deseando
Josiah
generar
for you
estímulos
guys.
supernormales.
This definitely is an ARG, right? Like, definitely?
Alright, it seems bizarre, but they're onto something. At the beginning of the video, Floresita seems to assert the hypothesis that the face of a woman named Celine Delgado, quote, kinetically fits non-human, AI-generated faces.
Ooh, today's
using the
upload is a
constant
good one
tau.
too, Aaron.
They go forth to explain the uncanny valley and how facial reconstructions cause uneasiness in those that encounter them. Following this, they superimpose various faces with the
Nice,
resulting
Matt.
images off
That's
to the
sick.
right.
I'm so
And
excited
among
for you.
these, Celine's face is shown mashed up with various others. They display a few examples that are, admittedly, eerie, and ultimately argue that the identity of this Celine Delgado is, as Joshua stated, artificial. Now, this is a lot to unpack, but considering that it's something that we haven't looked into prior, I found it worth considering.
I'm a
So
little bit
who is Celine
tempted.
Delgado? And how did she become wrapped up in this eerie shroud of urban legend?
To just not wrap this and deal with it, but I feel like I will regret it a lot. Hand wrapping
Throughout
yarn
the
is just such a
1990s, there
fucking
was a
bummer.
TV segment run on Channel 5 in Mexico named Servicio de la Comunidad, or Channel 5 Community Service. As Joshua stated, it was a TV spot that ran between children's cartoons in hopes of spreading the word about various missing persons. The segments, contrary to what we're going to discuss later tonight, actually contain voiceovers giving various details and last locations of missing persons, and at first glance, these are mostly tame. When you really look
Hi,
into
Seth
it,
the
though,
Duck. How are
the
you?
eerie
It's so good
nature
to
of
see
these
you.
TV spots stems from when you consider how Channel 5 handled the case of just one person, Celine Delgado. Over the years, her face would reportedly pop up in nearly every Servicio de la Comunidad segment, utilizing this exact same low-quality photo. There were times where they give a bit of background info about her, like the fact that she went missing on April 22nd and was just 18 years old.
Trying to inject happiness into my veins from the internet so that I can go to sleep feeling better. Oh, well, for what it's worth,
But
I'm
what
very
cemented
happy to
her
see
case
you.
into
I
the
hope that
minds
that
of
helps a
thousands
little.
of
I know
people
that's not worth a whole
came
lot,
nearly
but
30
I am
years
happy to
later.
see you.
Time for lunch, munch, munch. Time for a munch, crunch, crunch.
Creepy. This stuff is creepy. I love every second of this.
It goes without saying that the videos you're currently viewing are very obviously works of fiction. They were part of a stunt pulled by Channel 5 on their official Twitter page throughout 2019 and 2020. During this time, they were known to upload obscure, eerie videos to their account, only to delete them just hours later.
Interesting.
It was an
Why?
antic that ultimately catalyzed their rise to the Twitter trending page on numerous occasions, and also drives home the point that this real-world TV channel is not above messing with you.
It isn't.
In the midst of these posts, though, came one that involved
Some of it
the
reminds me
familiar
of Tool vids back in the day.
name. This one,
Music video. Oh, yeah,
posted
for sure.
after midnight on the 20th of February 2020. We can clearly make out the name, Celine.
God, it's so weird that
Given that she was what many presumed to be an actual missing person that was constantly broadcasted on a kids
That's,
channel
like,
over the span of years,
old now.
it gave birth to a
that
new
it,
sort
and
of
back
urban
in the
legend
day is
that the
like an
Florida City Dreams
accurate
channel
way
was
to
entertaining.
describe
The hypothesis
Tools'
that this person is potentially
heyday.
not real. The major argument stems from her missing photo. Many have stated online that it appears common, basic, and fake. This, combined with the lack of any online record that has ever been found about her, has led to a breeding ground of online hearsay, creepypastas, and hoax videos to command the conversation about her.
Man, that's a little bit crass if she's real. Like, that's a lot crass if she's real. That's somebody's dead daughter. Fuck.
Now, when I stumbled upon this video in my research, I, among many others, had initially assumed that this footage was real. Keeping in mind the other hoaxes and pranks that Channel 5 has played on its viewers, combined with the unconventional nature of these broadcasts being played on a kids channel, I didn't doubt that they'd pull a prank like this to make her name stick with you. Ultimately, though,
Hi,
as
Henry.
is the
Good to
case
see
with
you.
many works of media online, this too was a hoax. But that doesn't discount the weirdness of this story. The way that Channel 5 has and is handling her name makes it seem like she's nothing but a tall tale. And unfortunately, given the nature of the internet, many have run with this notion. Regarding the real case
I'd like
of
to
Celine
remind you guys
Delgado,
that I am not
unfortunately,
famous,
nothing
but
has ever
Seth the
come
Duck,
of
if
it.
it makes you happy,
She
then I'm
has,
famous.
as far as
I'm
anyone
A-list.
knows,
I'm
never
the
been
most
found,
famous
and her
one.
case has sat that way for decades. Personally, I think Celine Delgado, contrary to the rumors online, is indeed a real person. The argument presented about her having a fake face just doesn't seem plausible.
Like,
Her
that
image
looks
is
like
low
a
quality
photo to
because it was the
people.
90s. Her record
Yeah.
likely did exist, but was never digitized. The uncanniness of this image would be exponentially higher if this actually were fake, and it just doesn't make sense for a channel to slip a random fake person in their broadcast that would most likely never have been noticed back then. To me,
Okay,
Celine
we're
Delgado
wrapped.
was a real person.
It does not
A
look
real
good.
person with a
I
story
agree with
that likely
Nexpo's
never
take
received
here.
any sort of closure, and a person that is now forever wrapped up in the realm of urban legend.
That's really sad. Doxy's
But,
a
of
famous
course,
mafia boss hair model.
that's just my
And she's.
conclusion.
Oh boy. Okay. So I'm gonna work on my sweater. Which means I can't give you a pattern
From the
for it.
span of
Why?
April 8th to April 9th,
I can't
2015,
fucking hold my
a
hands
devastating
up here to
superstorm
crochet.
would wreak havoc on much of the central
Oh,
United States.
I see what's happening.
27 tornadoes ranging from EF0 to EF4 would touch down within the span of just 36 hours, resulting in immense devastation throughout Kansas, Missouri, Texas, Oklahoma, and Illinois. While most of them were rated as an EF1 or lower, by far the most destructive would impact a small rural town named Fairdale. Reaching wind
not what I
speeds
wanted.
of up to
Fuck.
200 miles per hour, this 41-minute storm surge would ultimately become infamous as one of the worst natural
I undo
disasters
that?
to impact the region in nearly 25 years.
I'm so upset right now. I'm so upset right now. Fuck. Why is this happening?
On the evening of April 9th, an 85-year-old man named Clarence Schultz had just wrapped up dinner with his wife Geraldine. He was in the other room getting cleaned up when she suddenly called him back into the kitchen. "Look out the window," she claims. And when he does, Clarence would come face to face with a scene straight out of a nightmare. Immediately, he heads upstairs to grab
There we go.
supplies while she stays behind.
This is what we
And
wanted
while up
right
there,
here.
He pulls out
Excellent.
his cell phone to
Sorry,
take a quick
guys.
video.
Jeez Louise.
What he was unaware of, though, was that while taking this footage, the tornado wasn't heading away, but rather straight towards them.
I'm so sorry about that, everybody. I have to pull out my pattern really quick. It's 0 for 0 doxy, you dingus. And yeah, they do. Finger tattoos do heal horribly. I don't know what's going on with my finger right now, but there's like ink or something on it, so it looks even worse than it should. It's already like a light blue, like bluish gray instead of black.
Clarence Schultz.
But yeah, that's a
didn't make it
0
back
for
to his
0
wife,
doxy.
But thankfully,
This
he
one
did make it out of this
is an
alive.
anchor for Josiah because he's from
Geraldine,
Nova Scotia.
however,
He's from the Maritimes.
wasn't quite so lucky. In the moments following the video, the storm destroyed the Schultz home, and Clarence resultingly found himself caught in a pile of rubble. All of a sudden, it kind of got quiet, he recalls. I asked myself, "Are you dead?" "No, you can't hurt when you're dead." And I heard. Geraldine Schultz was one of 2 deaths and 11 injuries that were caused by the events from April 9th. The other, their neighbor and longtime friend named Jacqueline Cloza. Cloza reportedly had
really
a massive
sad.
fear of spiders, which her daughter claims is why she
The
didn't
next
seek
big
refuge
purchase I'm
in
going
her
to get
own
is my
basement.
dragon mark tattoo. Fuck yeah. Do you have artwork
total,
in mind, or
over
are you going to
$19
find an
million
artist that
in
you like and
damages were
have
reported,
them,
and the
like,
aftermath footage
spice it up in
embodies
their
the
style?
devastation that was left behind. Thankfully, a storm of this magnitude hasn't struck the area since then. And after a grueling, years-long recovery effort,
It might be a 30th
life in
birthday gift
Fairdale
to
is
myself.
mostly
Yeah,
back to normal
fuck
today.
yeah.
For the residents of this small town, though, the scars from that night will remain everlasting. While the incident in Fairdale is just one of hundreds of natural disasters that have happened over the years, the resident stories and the media that accompany them paint a picture that is humbling. It takes you there, in a way, conveying the tragedy that nobody could have predicted. Today, Fairdale stands strong. They are a community that banded together, and while a similar storm hasn't happened since then, they remain vigilant in case something like this ever happens.
Hi, Kana. Nice.
Again.
I just realized
911,
that
what are you reporting?
I'm flipped.
Yeah, my house is getting robbed right now.
Fuck. Hell yeah, okay. Okay, we're good.
On December 1st, 2019, in Michigan, a man named Christopher Neal, his wife Haley Coe, and their 2-year-old daughter Charlotte were watching TV at home. The family had just moved here from North Texas, so they were still getting settled in. All things considered, the night was going okay, and nothing was out of the ordinary. At around 10 p.m., the three hear a loud noise at the front of the house. It sounds like an intruder, and so Chris heads to investigate while Haley stays behind to call 911. It was at this point when Chris would encounter an unknown man standing near his front door, and immediately, he too calls the authorities. The following audio takes place the moment the call center answered.
We already have a little bit of curling on this.
911.
Orange is in.
Of your emergency.
Got as much green and as I could out first. Plastic bags on head. Hopefully this goes well. If it's a plastic bag that has a logo on it, be careful that that logo isn't pressed against your hair, because that will stay. It will stay
Why are
on.
you in my house, bro?
Tell me let me talk to her.
You don't get speakerphone. Why are you in my house, though?
I am going to start over. My tension is fucked up on this. Sorry.
Me, my wife, and our daughter.
How old is your daughter?
She's 2.
2? Okay. Do you have any idea who he is?
We do know. No. Let my wife talk to her.
Okay. I'm not gonna harm you guys. All right? I promise. Shake my hand. 140 years old. You can go. I'm not gonna harm you.
Where is William at right now?
He's standing next to me in my hallway.
Okay, are we still on speakerphone?
We still are. He's right here.
Okay. William!
Yes, ma'am.
William, okay. Can Christopher and his wife and daughter step outside?
No. Yeah, I'm not. Ma'am?
What?
They're safe.
They're safe?
They're safe. They're gonna stand right here with you.
What are you doing in their house?
I told you there. Shots fired.
Where were shots fired at?
Going on Old 37 or Old Kentucky.
Fuck.
What's that?
Stop right here with me, man.
No, I ain't going
You're
anywhere.
going there with me, man.
Bro,
Turn the light on, please.
William!
Turn the light on.
William!
Yes, ma'am.
What are you trying to have them do?
He's coming in the room with me. That's it.
Why is he going in the room with you?
why are you locking that door? Don't lock that door, bro.
You all right, man? I just gave you my word, man. You straight.
I get what you're saying, but you
This
got
is
two
so
guns, bro.
scary.
You got 2 guns?
Stop trying to play crazy, man.
Bag is off head. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, man.
William, listen to me.
Why are you here in the first place?
William, can you listen to me?
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to put those guns
My word. My wife just got threatened, man.
I can hear you, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
They got threatened last night.
Okay, I get you, bro.
I'm not harming
I
you.
don't
Or
like
your
how
children, or
not
your wife.
straight this is. My tension is perfect. I think it might just be the markings on the yarn making it look like it's not straight to me. Because it looks straight on stream. It doesn't look straight in front of me.
Don't come through that door.
Okay. We're not going to come through the door, man, but I just want to talk to you and find out what's going on.
Don't come through that door. Slide your back underneath that door, man.
Well, I'm not even up by the door, man. I'm outside the house. Way outside the house.
Stop playing games with me, man.
What's got you all worked up today, man?
Oh, hi, Oz. Sorry, I didn't see you before.
Hello? Hello? Is this Christopher?
No, Christopher's dead.
Oh, no. What's wrong with not straight, Doxy the fuck? Canceled. Doxy the I wanted to double down and be like, get out of here, you gays, but I definitely don't want that to be like clipped. I'm pretty gay. I'm pretty gay.
During their advancement, 3 officers were shot and would sustain non-life-threatening wounds.
Hey, what's your name, man? Hey, this is Joe out here, okay? Man, we don't want anything bad to happen. We're not gonna hurt you.
Listen to me, please. You're wrong.
It sounds like this guy has schizophrenia. Synth Force, hi.
Once they charged towards the bedroom that Jones was hiding out in, they'd encounter Neil lying on the floor with the bedroom window ajar. Outside of it was Jones trying to flee. However, his efforts were in vain. William Jones ultimately faced 19 felony charges and was accused of killing Christopher Neal and wounding 3 officers. He was reportedly well known in surrounding counties as a thief and home invader, and astonishingly, just 5 days prior to the murder, he was released from jail after serving time for a previous offense. During his arraignment, his defense attorney maintained his innocence.
I think that I might
Jones was running from an attacker
make
that
a
night and
fun
ultimately sought
poll
refuge in the
for
Neal
sub
home.
chat, since like
think
all
the
of you are
911
subbed
audio
anyway.
speaks for itself. However, it'll ultimately
But
be up
that
to
will
a
be
jury
like a nice
as
little sub
eventual
reward. I
trial.
might make a poll for what project we do next.
Since the incident, Haley Coe has given birth to the
'Cause I
couple's
can't
second
decide.
child and is now raising them alone. With this,
I can't
their
decide
oldest
whether,
daughter will be forever scarred
oh my
by the loss of
goodness.
her dad that night.
Damn it, Uncle Flint, thank
And
you
their
so much for the
youngest
follow. I appreciate
will never
ya.
know him.
Yeah, that feeling you get from a really good fucking stretch
Christopher
you
Neal
didn't
died
realize that
protecting
you
his
needed.
family,
That's the
protecting
feeling
his
I just
family
got from you
a
following my
lifelong criminal.
channel.
And no matter if Jones is
Oh my
sentenced to life
God!
in prison, with
Kyle
justice
Leon, thank you so
served,
much for the super
the
chat
Neal
too. That's so
family will
nice of
forever
you.
have to live on
What's
without a
Papa
husband.
locking? Tain't nothing. Got
And
paid
without a
today and love a
father.
doxy stream. That's so nice of you, Kyle. Thank you. I might have to start this over. Anyway, the poll that I want to do, should we make the bear for Bear Taffy? Or should we start the ballerina top? You guys can give some input right now. If it's overwhelmingly one way or the other, then I won't bother doing the poll.
Central and North America are recovering from a recent Category 5 hurricane. United States
We want to start the bear.
George H.W. Bush is
You
preparing to
guys
swear
want
in
me
as
to
the
do the
41st
bear
president
on
with just
stream.
under a
You
week
don't
to
want
go.
me to just do that on
And
my
on
own
Channel
time.
5 up in Chicago, Illinois, an NBC-affiliated news station by the name
Everybody
of
is saying
WMAQ
bear.
is
Okay.
wrapping up its nightly programming. In
I think
relation
that I
the
need
other
to,
two, a news station broadcast keeping up the status
redo
quo
the
doesn't seem
chains.
all that notable or
Everybody
interesting.
wants the bear.
And to be
On
honest
stream,
with
you want to see it? Okay.
it isn't.
I can't
Rather,
include that it's
what
for Bear
transpired
Taffy in the
afterwards that's
title
piqued my
because he
interest.
follows me.
It's
So
extremely
he
subtle,
will
but
probably
after
find
being
out.
discovered relatively recently,
There is no
the
poll.
footage you're
There's
about
no
to
poll.
watch has
Like in
opened the
Biker.
door to a mystery that's perplexed a small but growing corner of the internet.
we were thinking about maybe doing a poll, but it looks like everybody wants to see the bear get made for Bear Taffy. And
WMAQ-TV,
I'm wondering,
Channel
should I make
5,
the
NBC
top hat?
television in Chicago. We now leave the air and wish
Should
you
I make
a
the
pleasant
top hat
good morning.
gray? Or should I make it all the same white tweed color? I'm not going to make it black because it's a ghost. We're making it a ghost. Make it gray. Well, the bear is going to be white because it's going to be a ghost bear. Yeah. Like I'm making a Bear Taffy plushie, but I'm going to make it white and I'm going to give it like a curly pointy end instead of the legs coming off. So that it's a little ghost because creepy crochet, but also it's bear taffy. I almost said bear doxy. I didn't mean to do that. He's way cooler than I am.
This image
do a gray, do a dark gray.
Quality, and there's effectively nothing to complement it.
Well, we also have
no height, weight, or age. No information about where they were last seen. No family contacts.
So much
no
of this
progress
gray.
reports. No voiceover to fill you in. Absolutely
and
nothing.
It's so silky.
This just exists as a late-night post-broadcast info screen shown
Will
at
it be
a time
infused
when most viewers likely
with the
directed
soul
their
of a
attention
child?
elsewhere. All we're left with is the name Joanna Lopez, a poorly lit photo of her face,
I'm not sure.
and a now defunct phone number that's been found to lead to the youth division of the Chicago Police
I'm
Department.
not sure. Does anybody in chat have a child that they'd like to donate? So that I can infuse the soul of a child into it.
I'm not alone in feeling this way.
I'll make it painless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're watching NBC5 Chicago.
Well, you ain't having mine. Fair enough.
Very difficult.
How about the Faye promise of future child? I'm old enough that if I have one child, I will only have the one and I'll probably want to keep it.
In 1991,
you had me up until
would once again wrap up their nightly broadcast. In a strikingly similar and almost random fashion, Joanna's missing notice would be
I got you, Doxy. My niece bugs me sometimes. Right for sacrifice. You guys like that gray? Or should we do a darker one? I genuinely want your opinions on it. If you guys think that it should be a darker gray, that's fine. But I do love that gray, and we have a ton of it. Do darker, you think? I do think that darker would look better.
Updates that might have cropped up in the prior 2 years.
Maybe I will do something that is swirly gray like this.
Just
swirly like black, gray, and white.
Ooh. On top of it. Given how long it was,
do you have like an MS Paint sketch of what you're looking at? No.
In the search.
Like this, like the yarn that I'm using right now, humanoid void.
As the days went by. And to date, not a single other update had ever come of this. Joanna Lopez has
the lighter gray is better.
Never been found.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. This is so much better already, I can tell. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no! Yeah, this is so much. It's hanging perfectly straight.
In late
That's
2020
awesome.
And into 2021, Joanna's mysterious missing notice would finally be shared to Reddit.
Excellent.
2 posts are known to have spearheaded the conversation. One by a Luke Inspire, and another by a Chris Polygon.
Gray is your favorite color in general. I love gray.
To focus on Chris's, as this one prompted the most
discussion.
discussion.
That's like Josh Fotzshire. His
Simply
favorite
titled,
color is gray.
The very obscure
I miss him.
disappearance of Joanna Lopez. Their post in Unresolved Mysteries outlines most of what we've already touched on so far. They go forth to claim that they have looked through various missing persons resources, however have found absolutely no information about her. Considering
Hilarious.
This is a subreddit devoted to discussing the unsolved,
I feel like Matt figured it out. That seems like a Matt joke. I stopped working out and got on my computer
she
just
was
to
a
do that
runaway
joke
and was
poll
found
that
in
was
Walton.
already decided in chat
Then
in
she
2
ran
seconds
away
of
again
Daisy
in
adding.
1991, and they used the same picture.
And I fucking love you for it,
1989
Matt.
and 1991
I
are
love
not
you
that
for a
far
lot.
apart, and if she was in foster care, I doubt they had up-to-date pictures of her. Such a strange case. Wow, this one is strange. I found the number listed here as the Youth Division of the Chicago Police Department. So, on the face of it, the number is in fact legit. I don't
Matt,
have
are you
the guts
playing
to call
around
it,
in
but it's there.
mod view? If you
Sounds like
learn
she
stuff,
escaped some
you
kind
should
of
teach
juvenile
me it.
detention or probation. If it
Suck
wasn't
it,
the appearance of
Justy.
the photo 2 years later, I'd be inclined to believe that's exactly what happened. But then she was found and returned with her case never having a chance to escalate to federal involvement. The fact that it aired again in 1991,
You
however,
love mod
makes
view.
me think she was never found. And in the pre-internet days, her case simply slipped through the cracks. I hope I'm wrong.
This ain't even my view. I just
Throughout all
pressed
of
slash to
these,
do the
though,
poll and a
one
message
comment
popped up.
stood
Hey,
out
you can
among the
use this
others.
announce thing. Oh, sick.
Posted by a proud evening star.
Aight.
They claim the following. Came across this post late last night, and it creeped me out so much that I couldn't sleep for a while. It really is so sad to think that a person can slip through the cracks like that and seemingly vanish altogether. I've been scouring the Doe network for unidentified Jane Does in and around the Chicago area all morning, and the only possible
He had
case
a
I could
whistle
find
S.
is from 1994.
Do
Here,
you guys ever have whistle S's
I
on
really hope
accident?
we can find closure on this. My heart
Every
breaks for
time
her.
I do, it's so piercingly fucking loud and embarrassing.
Interesting. Heading to that link presents us with a
You
Jane
can pick
Doe.
a color, but it's only the color of the
276
bars around the
UFIO.
announcement. I'm
She was
disappointed.
found
I thought it was
deceased
color
in
of text. I
Alloway,
was gonna abuse
naked
mod
from
powers
the
to
waist
make a red E.
It goes without saying that our working evidence is tenuous.
Damn, I'm
However,
sorry that
lining up
dream
this
didn't work
photo
out for you. I
with
think that would have been
Joanna
very
Lopez,
funny.
While considering the time and location
You hiss
in
like
which she was
Snick.
found, postulating that
I'm
this
a
woman is Joanna
Snick.
isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Snicky Snick.
I've done some digging.
The
on various
Gopher
missing
S,
persons
yeah.
From around the time
Azava.
period, and have also come
1,
up short
2,
with results.
3, 4, 5,
There are quite a
7,
few from around
8.
Illinois.
What?
However, their dates of discovery don't quite line up with the
Hello?
2 missing broadcasts.
Hello?
It seems to me that Proud
No.
Evening Star has found the most
1,
plausible visual
2,
match
3,
out of nearly all the
4,
1990s
5,
Jane Does from the
6,
area.
7, 8, 9, 10.
But
Okay,
even
never mind.
this
We're good.
leaves us
Everything's
with
fine.
much to be
Everything's
desired.
fine, I said. Hey. Everything's fine. Calm down.
At the end of the day,
Get
the
your
case
shit
of
together
Joanna
and calm
Lopez
down.
is one that is undoubtedly haunting. Barring how obscure the photo itself is, the lack of information,
Okay,
the
back
visuals
loops
that accompanied the broadcast,
because we're
and
making
the fact that there is
ribbing.
virtually no discussion or record about her ever existing aside from this brief video archive online. This case is enveloped in absolute mystery. I implore you to join the discussion in finding this girl. And if
Speaking
you
of
know
mods,
or
I've gone
remember anything
down
about her,
the rabbit hole of
myself and
modding
countless others
RimWorld.
are
All is
all
lost.
ears
Yep.
about it.
Rip.
In the
It was
worst-case
nice knowing you,
scenario,
Dark Lord
we
Snuggles.
won't
I'll
get
miss you
anywhere,
very
and
much.
this mystery will remain. But the best case, reaching any sort
I've
of
not
closure,
thought of the I'm a Snick video in literal
That
years.
is what I'm aiming
I
for.
didn't even know about it until I think it was the night that Brian moved in with me like 100 years ago. I miss living with Brian a little bit. Anyway,
The internet harbors a vast abyss of content that is perplexing.
that was the first time I ever saw
intriguing,
it. Was
and
I think
immensely
it was the
haunting.
night that he moved in. He showed it to
A
me.
community thriving off sharing derelict
1, 2,
areas around the world. An internet urban legend that engulfed the name of someone who has never been found. An unforeseen natural disaster that wreaked havoc on a community. A 911 call in the midst of a home invasion. And a missing persons broadcast that never found a resolution.
That's really sad.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this special Halloween edition of Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you have any eerie discoveries that you'd like to share for a future installment, feel free to fill out my new tip line or shoot me an email at dtfaisubmissions@gmail.com.
7.
Once again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I love you all. And happy Halloween.
8. 9. Okay, so I'm thinking that what we'll do is I like his, I just like Nexpo's content in general. I just like Nexpo. And since we have permission to use his stuff, since we've credited him, I want to do the Reddit series. I don't know how much of it there is. That's so sad. I think that Nexpo is such a good guy. Baboose? Babe?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, that was so scary.
What was scary?
It sounded like footsteps walking up to me. Like it just reverberated weird, and like I felt like there was somebody here even though there was nobody here.
Okay.
Like that was scary. That's all.
I'm sorry you got scared.
It's okay.
Hi, Kika. He was nesting under the bed.
He's so cute. Oh, he doesn't have one. He doesn't have a playlist. Well, we could do... I don't have the use of my keyboard, which makes it really, really hard. So we could watch what he has on the Walton files, since that's something that we've covered. Oh, here's Chronicles of Reddit is in here. I don't remember watching this. I don't remember watching down the rab.it hole, and it says that it's viewed. I wonder if that was just like a bad thumbnail choice. I had Tim Hortons, but like 3 times. Oh, Tim Hortons BLT like 3 times when I was in Canada. That and hot chocolate. Tim Hortons rules. Oh, Synthforce, thank you for looking out for me. Don't mind if I do. Appreciate you, bud. I want to do his Reddit series. Oh, he does have an I Feel Fantastic analysis. It's very short though. I don't know. You guys choose. Do you want to do an ARG or do you want to do his Reddit stuff? Because I'm going back and forth. Now I want to watch his Walton Files video and see if he covered a bunch of stuff that I missed. Dealer's choice. I want to see what people want. Though recently he covered Lake City Quiet Pills, which started off of Reddit. I think Nexpo only ever did the one Reddit video. Oh, it said volume 2, didn't it? On it? Weird. Okay. What happened? Some ordinary gamers used to do creepypasta and troll pasta readings. They were pretty freaking cool. Too bad he just does gaming and YouTube news now. Don't stop dreaming. I want to play through Lake City Pills. I guess it's an unfiction or whatever. It's just a mystery, but I want to like do it. So I don't want to watch that. Maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, Chronicles of Reddit Volume 2. Right there. See? Hey, babe. Babe's gonna choose for us. Featuring Atrocity Guide. I love her. I love Atrocity Guide. Do you guys watch Atrocity Guide? I love her. You were rewatching. Excuse me. I was rewatching the MK Ultra video because I was late during the stream, so they didn't define what MK Ultra stands for. Well, it's Magical Kingdom Ultra, obviously. It's only assumed the CI runs it, but really it's Disney. We're sorry, Mr. Rose. Hi, honey.
Hello.
Are you making a snack?
I was just having a piece of toast because I haven't eaten yet today.
I was going to see if you would bring me up some Chex Mix.
Sure.
And then also, are you going to be ready to be rated in 1 hour and 38 minutes or half an hour?
Whatever you want, I can be ready in half an hour.
You want it to be in half an hour?
I'm saying I can be if you are.
What would you prefer? Do you need any extra time to do some stuff or no?
Kind of.
Well, then we'll do the 1 hour and 38 minute one. We'll do the Walton Files.
Okay.
Sick. Oops. I'm pausing it. Let's go ahead and let's have a break. Oh, shit. Let's have a quick break right now before we start this so that we can get all the way through the Walton Files video. Hello? What is happening? This is the cult in a boarding school. What? This is what I wanted. And we'll try to get all the way through this video without a break here. So everybody hang tight. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm back. Hello. Who said earlier they were getting a dragon mark tattoo? That's Rinson in chat. You're gonna get a mimic? That's sick. That's a really fun idea for a tattoo. All right. Let's do this. I brought up my soggy Chex Mix. I'm sorry. Can I get 4 readies in chat, please? Hell yeah. Thank you. I'm Kyle. There was some drama this week between this guy and the FNF VHS series. Yeah, I saw.
Oh, yeah. I missed analog.
I saw that.
Old school. Rough around the edges. And by every account, disturbing.
We got the heart-shaped Cheerios, and they are not heart-shaped.
It's one of the creepiest that I've ever covered on
like
this
a couple
channel.
of them are, but very
What
few.
if I told you that it's nearly neck and neck in quality with the revered Local 58 that we know all too well? And what if I told you that tonight we're going to be pressing through that very series while dissecting its secrets and piecing together its grim
I did
lore?
not ever see Local 58.
Well, as you can tell by the title and length of this video, that's because we are. Enter the Walton Files, a show birthed on April 26th of 2020 by an online creator named Martin Walls.
He came into chat. Do you guys remember?
The classic Five Nights at Freddy's, combined with a clear love for analog horror storytelling, Walls has crafted an insanely engrossing narrative surrounding
He's
four
a nice
animatronics
man.
that were assembled for a burger restaurant named Bond's Burgers. The place opened in 1974 and was known to host birthday parties, school events, and even animatronic concerts for the public. Was known to host these things because, due to a few specific incidents, Bond's Burgers is no longer open for business. You see, the Walton Files is structured through just 3 videos at the time of writing that each contain numerous tapes, jumping back and forth between the date Bond's Burgers first opened in 1974 and 8 years later in 1982. A mysterious person named Anthony seems to reside in each video's description and claims that these tapes were all made by an extinct company named Bunny Smiles. Now, Bunny Smiles is somewhat of the
I've never seen an
foundation here.
animatronic
The
IRL. How did
fast-paced entertainment of this entire
anyone
ordeal
ever not find
and
them
the root
creepy?
of nearly
Have you,
every
you've never
event
seen like
that
a really
takes place.
dope one at a
Deception, curiosity, loss, trauma.
what is the
and
word I'm
regret
looking for?
have
Fuck.
all found their home as
A dope-ass theme
cornerstones of
park?
this series, and ultimately leave us questioning what exactly is happening with the Bond's Burgers restaurant. And who
It's
has
very
started
easy
this
to
chain
make
of
them
events that ended
creepy
up
because of
going so
Uncanny
terribly
Valley
wrong.
stuff.
As you can tell by the length of this video,
Who entered chat?
this
Martin
series
Wells
is
came into
gargantuan,
chat
with a
when we
disturbingly
covered the
convoluted
Walton
story that
Files.
reflects that. And something that's fascinated me for quite some time.
Oh,
so
what a
I'm
bummer,
incredibly
Kyle. I'm
eager
sorry to hear
press through
that.
this side by side with all of you.
Some animatronics are really fucking cool,
So,
but it
without
is
further ado,
very easy for them to be
Let's
creepy.
dig in. From the top, the Walton Files.
You got Dad in here and Walls. I don't know how Tinfoil Tom found me, but he's friends with all those dudes. And I think that he's been like poking them when I go live. I like Local 58. I think it was Contingency that really gave me the creepies. I've never seen it. Should I see it?
This is a compilation of tapes created by the already extinct Bunny Smiles Company. I tried to get as much info as I could about what these tapes are, but all I could find was that they were handed to new employees back in 1974 to 1979, and the rest of them seemed to be recorded by a new facility caretaker in the year
You think I would?
1982.
Okay.
Hopefully I can find more soon. Anthony.
Company Introductory Tape. Archive 1, 1974.
And there's not very many videos. Sick.
Serving as the pilot episode.
Aaron, I didn't know you were into this stuff.
First
You
archive
should
within this company
join me
introductory
for a
tape
mystery some night.
understandably takes a more direct initial approach at introducing you to the main
I had
cast.
no idea that you were into this stuff.
And yeah, that's all it is. Just an ordinary employee training video.
I promise I'll
and
start
welcome to
crocheting
the
again in a
introductory
second.
tape to your new job at Bunny Smiles Incorporated. You have applied to a job in technical support and maintenance. What does this job particularly mean? It means that you, amongst other employees, are the one who will take care of creating
Hi,
a
Zep.
magical and fun experience for Bond's
It's good to see you.
As we've established,
Hi, Bardic Muse. We
this
covered
first
all
training
of
video
Walton
seems to have been
Files
created
on
sometime in
the channel.
1974. Or applying for a job in technical support and maintenance.
I think
And
except for the
so far,
most recent video.
It seems legit. After this brief introduction, the video goes forth to introduce us to the Bond's Burgers main animatronic characters that make up a group called the Showstoppers, consisting of the eponymous Bond the Rabbit, Shaw the Lamb, Buzu the Ringleader, and Banny the Other Rabbit. The four lovingly perform a couple songs for us before we get into the nitty-gritty about what our new job actually entails.
It's been a bitch of a day.
By BSI to entertain children. As a
How's yours?
technician, you'll
It's
be
getting
given
better,
the role
though.
of a facility caretaker. Around this fun and
I also
magical
loved the
journey,
Nick
we'll work
Cage
on certain
animatronic
tasks,
movie. I thought it was
such as
great. I loved it.
painting protocols,
It wasn't amazing cinema, but it was a hell of a movie,
and learning how to use BSI technology.
if that makes sense.
But first, here's a message from Jack Walton and Felix Crankin, our beloved founder.
It was fun in the same way some Keanu Reeves action movie is
The most important
fun.
thing to us isn't the money or the rating. The most important thing to us is that you have a wonderful experience while working with us.
That being said, with the Bond's Burgers restaurant getting opened in a
Okay.
few weeks, we're looking forward to achieving this dream with you.
All right, hold up. 1975, closed for good Bond's Burgers restaurant. This video seems to have cut to an information catalog from a year later, giving us some insight into the fate of Bond's Burgers. Before we get to what's new though, I wanted to back up and highlight something that stood out to me. That photo of the founders seems oddly uncanny. I can't quite put my finger on it, but with Jack Walton especially, something definitely seems off.
Agree.
Anyway, that catalog houses a ton of information and context, and appears to read the following. Save, restore,
It was a Nick
secure.
Cage movie post Con
The
Air. Of
BSI
course,
storage
it's great.
facility,
Agree.
also known
He
as
he
Crankin,
does
is a
wild
company
shit,
project
man.
To storage all valuable items from the closed for good Bond's
A
Burgers
casual
restaurant.
horror and ARG
Given the
enthusiast. I haven't
situations
seen a
about
lot
the
of them, but I have
incidents inside the
enjoyed what I've seen.
1974 Bond's
Yeah,
Burgers
okay.
location,
If you ever
any
want to
type of
join
props,
me on the
animatronics,
channel
and
for
arcade
one,
machines
let me
will be
know.
carefully
This is our
moved,
bread and butter.
inspected,
This is
and
what we
secured
do
inside a
now.
bunker located deep down
On
in St. Juanes
we
Forest for good.
normally
The facility
crochet and
caretaker
then
will take care of securing the
watch
facility
stuff,
and
but
keeping it safe and working properly.
sometimes I will just not crochet and we'll solve an ARG. It's fun.
Considering the fact that the initial role of the facility caretaker was to keep the restaurant clean, maintain the animatronics, and to learn BSI technology, I find it strange that they're now in charge of securing this top secret facility in order to keep it safe. Honestly, it seems like a pretty damn big job, and it leaves me questioning what they're keeping it safe from. If that's what they're doing, that is.
It's hard to do this in a way that you guys can see because we're doing back loops
Archive
only,
2,
so I can't hold it like flat like
1979.
this. I hope everybody's okay with the way Crochet like stream looks
Here,
right
we're
now.
presented with the children's cartoon created by a Sarah Evelyn. It's titled Bond's Super Sleepover and appears to convey a night where Little Bond the Rabbit had invited each animatronic's younger counterpart over for a night of movies and fun. Initially, everything seems fine. However, when the narrator begins running through the guest list, we're promptly informed that this cartoon is not what it seems.
Excuse me for...
For this sleepover, he invited Sharp, Boozoo, and Billy. Let's check again in case we don't forget any guests. Bond invited Sharp, Bozu, and...
Jack Face!
Hey, Jack, is that you?
Nexpo's so
How are
cute.
you, buddy? Good to see you. I didn't see you there, buddy. So, this definitely didn't help the initial uncanniness of the original Jack Walton photo. Clearly he or someone he knows has inserted his face into these tapes, leaving us to wonder why this was done. After this, we get back to the main story, which involves Little Bond eagerly preparing the movie for everyone to watch. Weirdly, the VHS
You've been on that
has
Nexpo
same
shit the
creepy
last
Jack
couple
face on
days
it,
too, so
and
you've seen
when it
this one.
actually
I
starts to
adore
play,
him.
The TV
I
merely
adore
shows
him.
the text, "Let me out of here." Interestingly, if we take a look around the TV set, we can notice something suspect. A pill bottle with the name Sophie Walton written on it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This will be important later, so let's keep this in mind. Later on, everyone heads to bed. We're able to observe each character snoozing away. However, Little Bond seems to be awoken by something, making noise in the middle of the night.
Sick. If you haven't seen the one he did about the Elan school, it's really good. Man, watching that shit breaks my heart. I should watch that one. I'll probably watch it alone though. I'll probably cry. That shit. I just, nobody believed those poor fucking kids. It sucks. It sucks so bad. Or like the people that did believe them didn't fucking care. Like, and now they're all gonna just be fucked up for the rest of their lives. It's so sad.
Alright, so it seems that Little Bond glitches into a cartoon depiction of Sophie Walton, the girl whose pills we saw earlier by the TV.
What do you expect from parents that just signed their kids,
Bond appeared behind her,
signed away their
looking
kids
as
to
if he had
strangers?
a massive
Yeah.
hole in his chest.
He looks like Professor Snape
Furthermore,
from The
we
Eyes
can
of
observe that
Someone on
Sophie's dressed up in some
LSD.
sort of
Jack
work
Walton,
uniform
yeah.
with a name tag
Maybe
that
a
seems
little
to
bit.
resemble
I
the
see
one we
it.
saw
I see the
earlier.
resemblance for sure.
This hints at the potential of Sophie being an employee of either Bond's Burgers or Bunny Smiles Inc. Considering the fact that she seems to be Jack Walton's daughter, then it would make sense. Another thing I'd like to highlight was that missing poster, which confirms two things. One, that the image from earlier during the guest list indeed was Jack Walton's distorted face. And two, that something happened to him, leading someone to litter his photo throughout these tapes. Also, while the missing poster date is illegible, the captions confirm that the date reads June 11th, 1974, meaning that his disappearance occurred during the same year that the Bond's Burgers restaurant opened. Could this have been the incident that caused its closure?
All right. See you later,
Considering that he
Zoso.
was
Have a
one of
good
the two
one. Thanks for
founders.
hanging out.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me. Archive 3. Taking place just after midnight on October 10th, we're heading down a forest trail. It's hard to make out on the video
You
itself.
keep hearing Bob's
but the person
Burgers.
filming this can be heard in the
I
background.
believe that we had that snafu a couple of times when we were covering it.
So, this is the brand new caretaker for the old Bunny Smiles facility. I'm
Hi,
recording
Kika.
this because the company requires some type of archives for the work history, something like that. I honestly have no clue because I just started working here. I'm going there right now, but
Hi, baby
they
kitty.
gave me this weird location that's somewhere in this forest to work at. And I've been driving for 20 minutes, and
Come here.
I can't find the place.
What are you doing?
About a minute and a few video cuts later, they eventually make their way to that canine bunker. I'm not entirely sure why they have him working during the ass crack of night, but hey, let's hope they're making some overtime. Anyway, upon their arrival, they venture inside and observe the following.
Don't do this to me, dude.
Chris told me this place hasn't been working since about 78, 79, somewhere around then, and that was 4 years ago, I think. So, chances are it's gonna smell horrendous.
I'm sorry, guys. Did you give up? No, I was just practicing my knitting. I did like give up on the knit project, I guess, but like it was one that I was always going to. It was never gonna be like an actual project, you know what I mean? Bob's Burgers is an amazing show, Oz. Hi, sweet Kika. Keek, you're killing me. You're so fucking cute, dude. My cat is so cute.
Yeah, left arm. The left arm.
What was that thing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven. Hi, Keek. Hi, bud. He does not want me to be crocheting right now. He wants me to be petting. Hi, sweet boy.
I can't feel
Bob's
anything.
Burgers, the movie? That's
thought I
real?
was
Is
hurt.
that real?
Brian's paralyzed. He isn't dead. Yet. He thought I was her, though. Is he referring to Sophie?
He's just
Considering that
on
she
my
seemed to
arm
be dressed
like
up in
this.
a work uniform that resembled Brian's, it would make sense. But that then leaves us wondering why. Why would Bond
That's
seemingly
cool, I
awaken
didn't
and react
know.
so violently, mistaking another employee
Also,
for
hi,
what we can
Dragon
assume to
Rana.
be Sophie Walton? Why was he programmed to do this? Backing up to the beginning of that scene, we can overhear Brian
27th.
talking about how the
I
facility
love
wasn't
Bob's
open for 3 or
Burgers.
4 years. For that entire length of time, the bunker was
I like
derelict
to
and
think
abandoned,
that there's a
vanished
little
to
bit
Mother
of
Nature
every
and forgotten.
character from Bob's Burgers in all of
Interestingly,
us.
once he made it inside,
We all
we can
have a
recall
little
that
bit
he
of
made
Jean, a
passing
little bit of
reference to
Tina, a
something
little
called
bit
Relocate Project
of
that he
Louise,
claimed
a
Bob
little
would be
bit of
good for.
Bob, a little bit of Linda.
It
We
seems
all
that
have
after this
all of
long
them,
hiatus,
a little bit.
Someone at Bunny Smiles made the call to open
And we
Canine
all
back
know
up,
a Teddy.
which I find a bit strange considering that the information catalog had claimed that it would be closed for good. For what reason they're reopening it though? I couldn't tell you at this point. But what I do know is considering the fact that Bond had chased Brian out of the facility, eventually catching up to him, mangling his entire body, and leaving him for dead. This so-called
Okay, I'm gonna
relocate
start
project
crocheting.
just might be the worst idea that Bunny
I
Smiles
love you.
has ever had.
I love you, Kika.
At least, as far as I know.
He's my baby kitty. I love him so much. You like Bob better as Archer? You get very used to it. Like, both are good. They don't have to be compared.
This is another compilation of tapes from Bunny Smiles Incorporated. I was able to contact people via forums and threads that have some information on the company. These tapes revolve around some relocation project that was being executed during the late 1970s. A BSI ex-employee mentioned that the tapes were really private and only a few people had copies of them. Once the company vanished in the early 80s, all tapes regarding the project were banned and destroyed. These are super
Used to have a
rare,
cat named
and I'm really
Attitude.
lucky
Cute.
to have them.
That's a cute name for a cat. I love that. Did you call them Addie for
The
short?
Relocate Project. Archive 1. July 2nd, 1978.
Coach McGurk is a fucking... That was like his first big time role, hey? And like, that's not even that big time. Home Movies is kind of obscure. It's not super obscure.
The footage opens up with an informational segment.
I
about
think
the
that
closure of
Brendan
Bond's
Small is
Burgers
just
and the
like a
purpose of the
genius.
Relocate Project.
I love
The same
everything he
narrator
ever
that voiced
does.
The company introductory tape is back and seems to be eager about the future of Bunny Smiles Incorporated. Oddly though, if we look closely during this segment, we can notice bits and pieces of visuals that don't quite fit in. Have a look.
BSI members and employees, and welcome to the tape that will change the future of the Bond's Burgers brand and the Bunny Smiles company for the better. That's right, after 4 long years of...
There's a burrito chain up here that the logo looks like something from the Walton Files. It's called Burrito Jacks. If you look it up, there's a little animal, and it reminds me of Walton
But
Files
before we
every
go
time I
into
see it.
details, We want to greet all the new
The
Bunny
HTC
Smiles
Vive
employees.
Pro 2 VR headset has the hentai and not
Let's
safe
start
for work
analyzing the
tag
relocate
on
project
Steam.
by checking what has
That's
happened
very
ever since the
funny.
closure of Bonds 4
I didn't
years
know
ago.
that there was a
As many of
Vive
you might have
Pro
known from
2.
previous tapes,
I
our
want
beloved
it.
entertainers were safely secured in
I
some
have
wanted
the
storage
Vive
facility
1.
some months after
It's
the
in
restaurant's
Iowa,
closure.
but I love that fucking thing.
Later on, a good amount of business opportunities appeared, such as books, merch, animated movies. We even got a TV show. That's when Felix Crankin had the brilliant idea of restore and reprogram the robots of Bonds Burgers with the purpose of relocating them in a new restaurant that would be opened in a not-so-distant future. A pretty smart plan, right? Making enough money to eventually reopen the Bonds Burgers restaurant is no doubt a brilliant idea. So let's give it up for Felix Crankin, a man with not only a giant brain, but also a giant heart.
So clearly Jack Walton sunk his little tendrils into this tape as well, interrupting what seems like a self-aggrandizing segment about Felix Crankin. Admittedly, this does appear to be symbolic, especially when we consider the fact that, earlier, Felix was labeled as the founder, singular, with Jack cropped out of the original photo that the pair had taken together.
Interesting.
To me, this notion combined with the aforementioned 4 years of legal paperwork makes it seem like there might have been some bad blood between the two after this so-called incident that occurred back in 1974. Further supporting this is the fact that when the Bonds Burgers merchandise is being shown, we can spot a VHS about the disappearance of Jack Walton hidden behind the others. And if we head back even further to the file section, we can spot something a bit odd. You see it? It's cut off and hardly legible, but the words on the file box appear to read, "Jack's still here."
Where?
Seems a bit deliberate, doesn't it? Given that these were so-called internal company tapes, that means that someone
Where does
within
it
Bunny
say that?
Smiles knew something they probably
Oh, it's
shouldn't
at the
have
bottom.
when they were putting this footage
Under
together.
the fucking... Under
So
the
what
captions,
actually
okay.
happened to Jack? Considering the fact that the Relocate project appears to have been in planning since sometime in 1975, merely a year after his longtime friend and business co-founder went missing, to me, Felix Crankin is beginning to seem more and more suspicious as time goes on.
I recommend very much the first games that you play should be that job one. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll DM it to you later. And the Rick and Morty one, Virtual Reality. Those should be the first games that you play. They're very fun.
Jumping forward a month, we're greeted with what appears to be an internal company tape regarding animatronic reprogramming. Banny appears on screen, and for this example, is used for these tests. The video initially shows their mouth opening and closing, with captions claiming that this
Job
is a
simulator,
so-called
yeah.
pre-relocate feature that requires
Thank you,
checking
Oz.
since reprogramming could have affected this. Afterwards, they move on to a new relocate project exclusive, which involves blinking. Ominously, the captions claim that employees would always need to keep their eye sockets clean, which I find odd considering that they're mechanical. With what we know so far about Bon and what he did to Brian Stells, I do wonder if Banny's alive per se, in the same way.
I forgot about that episode, right,
Anyway,
Kudo? That is
after
funny.
this
I
brief test
forgot
sequence,
entirely
a
about that
distorted face
episode.
becomes overlaid onto Banny's head, implying that they're either representative of a human counterpart or that someone's locked within her somehow.
Shadowcrawler, I'm
section
doing the
passes,
ribbing
the
right
video
now
cuts to a
for
top-down view of what appears to be the inside of
sweater that I'm
Bob's
working on. I can't share the
showing
pattern because it's a
Banny
paid
helplessly
one.
trying to escape.
But it, like we're literally just gonna be doing the ribbing probably today.
The mighty rabbit needs to get out. The mighty rabbit needs to get out. The mighty rabbit needs to get out. The rabbit is starving. The rabbit is starving. The rabbit is starving.
This part was so sad.
The rabbit is starving.
Poor bunny rabbit.
The bunny
I
rabbit
haven't
needs
played
to get out.
Vacation Simulator.
The bunny rabbit is starving. Starving for what?
Fun,
At the
Shadowcrawler.
end of that entire sequence, we were greeted with a shrouded missing persons poster. After brightening it, it doesn't appear to be Jack's, but that of a Susan Woodings. The missing date's hard to make out, but it appears to be on the 30th of June in 1974. So, 2 missing posters and 2 animatronics that appear to be alive.
Thanks, babe. Love you.
Dunge0n_dad sparkler.
Dunge. I need to actually be using my stitch markers every 5. Got 2, 4. This is 5.
And so we make our way to the new, updated, and revised technical support tape made specifically for the canine facility. Shaw the Lamb is our host in this one, and states that she'll be taking us through an orientation and area tour inside the bunker.
Welcome to Technical Support. Today we will focus on the area tour and orientation inside K9, the Bunny Smiles storage facility. We recommend all facility caretakers to have all needed equipment in hand and to always wear the Bunny Smiles uniform. But most importantly, all of you must always, under any circumstance, use your BSIID card. Once you have all the necessary equipment at hand, we are ready to go.
No, the
Barring
vest.
Kenny Shaw's
No,
mouth movements are,
I'm not watching,
this
or
small
I'm not
section
playing the vest.
confirmed that
We're
the
starting a
costume
new
Sophie was
project
wearing
next
back in the
Monday,
introductory
so I'm
tape
just doing like
was
an
indeed
interim
the facility
project, getting
caretaker uniform.
some headway on this sweater that I've been making for myself for a while that I just took a big break
The
from.
next segment takes us outside of K9. We make a quick check for all the necessary
today.
equipment for the job.
I'm gonna try to finish
lantern,
this sweater this
snacks,
weekend.
A key,
Excuse me,
and a camera before we make our way inside.
It's this
Once we
Sunday
do,
is
Shaw
the
begins to
anniversary
annoy
of my
us
mom's
because-
death.
Wow,
it's pretty dark here.
You should turn on the light.
And also Easter.
Turn on the light. Turn on the light. Turn on the...
So Josiah's gonna do stuff with family and I'm gonna stay home and be a mess.
It's important to keep track of which rooms you enter. This place can be really tricky and you could get lost very easily. This is the resting room. In this room, you can sit down, rest, talk with coworkers, you name it. Remember to always keep this room as clean and organized as possible. A clean environment helps.
Thank you, Azuma. I'm pretty well adjusted about it. It's been a really long time. But still, just that day is just kind of hard for me. So I tend to take it to myself and just stay in bed all day.
All right, this is the main hall of the place. In front of you, you will find 3 doors. These are storage areas. The first door is used to save any kind of cleaning items and supplies. The second door is used to save a kind of prizes and merch that was available.
Thank you, Oz. Thank you, guys. You guys are very sweet.
Truly,
Truly, it's not a huge deal. Like,
third door is
really, I am pretty undamaged from her death. I'm like disturbingly well adjusted in that regard, but like,
you saw that too.
Just every once in a
At this
while,
point, we
there's
have no
a little
context or
bit
clues about who that could be, but let's keep them in mind.
of grief that comes back, you know. And her death day is hard some years.
Welcome to the basement.
No, hold on a second. Run that back. Backwards.
Rosemary would go to the restaurant every night hoping that his beloved husband would reappear after being missing for weeks, but no response until one day she heard a voice saying, "I know where she is, Rosie," coming from the backstage.
Interesting. Given the context, it's a no-brainer to assume that Rosemary is Jack's wife. The ending to that quote, though, implies that something lured her backstage. But what?
Welcome to the basement. Right now, you are in the main storage area. As you can see, this is the room where we storage more important items such as stages, tables, arcade machines, and birthday props. Now,
Wait,
please follow
did I
me
fuck
to the
this
next
up?
door.
1, 2,
In the Barnsburger restaurant, remember to avoid touching or shining lights in our robots unless you are a facility technician.
That doesn't look
Now
very
let's move on
nice.
to the
Oh,
next
that's
room.
why. I grabbed the wrong loop. Sorry, I'm gonna have to bring this kind of close to my face for a second. I was exactly the same when my stepdad passed very suddenly in December. I was the clear-headed one at the hospital for my mom, but it hit me sometimes. Yeah. I'm sorry for your loss as well, Shadowcrawler. Shadowcrawler, it's kind of a fan. It's not really a fan fiction about FNAF, but it's like it's inspired by FNAF. It's called the Walton Files.
You will beautiful. You will beautiful. You will beautiful.
Fuck.
When she woke up, she looked beautiful.
There we go.
But on the inside,
Every single part of her body was bleeding out.
I lost my grandpa when I was 14 from a combination heart attack and car accident. I was the one who inherited his dog.
All right,
Tags from
so
Vietnam,
what just happened there?
despite us not being blood related.
Right after Shaw
you guys
finished
must have
showing
been
us
very
the basement,
close.
we briefly see a photo of Bon and Shaw together, almost like they're a couple. Shaw appears to enter the backstage area, notifying us that only facility caretakers should be shining lights on the robots before leaving that room, only to make her way back to the basement. Afterward, she expresses confusion, claiming that we visited this room already, utters the words, "Sophie, where am I?" and then walks southbound once more into what appears to be that silhouette figure from earlier. We then see a cartoon version of what we can assume to be Rosemary, with a strange voice giving more context into that reversed audio from earlier. Instead of finding her husband, they claim, she found a rabbit. Bon, the rabbit. After claiming over and over that "you will beautiful" and "you're broken, we'll fix you," Bon appears to dismember Rosemary before stuffing her corpse into Shaw's body. Shaw wakes up and expresses that she looked beautiful before we see yet another shrouded missing persons flyer. After brightening this one up, we can clearly see that it's for Rosemary Walton. July 19th, 1974. I'm beginning to see a pattern. Here, we have a poster for Rosemary.
Yeah,
who we know was
Shadowcrawler.
killed and stuffed into Shaw.
Doxy, what on earth are you talking about? This is clearly
Susan
a
Weddings,
bunny.
who appeared to
FNAF is
possess
a
Banny.
bear.
And at the very beginning of the first episode, we saw one for Jack Walton. Considering that he's been missing this entire time, the fact that Bon was one of the first alive animatronics that we witnessed in this series, and the implications that came with that photo of Shaw and Bon, I'm starting to get the impression that the Jack Walton corpse is, in actuality, stuffed inside of Bon the rabbit. This is, of course, just a theory, but it leaves me to wonder, if it's true, who exactly did that? Let's move on.
A game theory. Hilarious. Used to be best friends. You miss them a lot to this day. Yeah, I'm so sorry for your loss. It's hard. It's really, really hard to go on sometimes. When you have to leave someone who passed,
So this fourth tape
like,
involves the
behind,
experience
but
that 3 facility technicians
we
had
honor
during a
them
3-day
by
stay in
taking the
Canyon.
best parts of them
For the
and
first part of this
instilling
tape,
them in ourselves,
you can
hey?
overhear them gossiping in the background while they're getting their work done. According to them, they're on a 3-day timeline to get these animatronics reprogrammed for the Relocate project and are hastily working to complete it before then. During their conversation, they discussed the fact that they overheard cases that occurred back at Bon's Burgers. Allegedly, the place played music from midnight to 2 to 3 in the morning and closed down after people reported screams from an adult woman inside. They go forth to explain that the place had to close down so the police could check it out, and on the very last day that the restaurant was open, they had only let 2 families in. That day, the animatronics were missing, and all the curtains were closed. The next scene takes place 2 days later. Going by their conversation, They weren't able to get the robots pre-programmed due to what they described as highly damaged endoskeletons. And as a result, they declared their efforts a failure before getting ready for their last night of rest in this facility. But Ashley wasn't quite ready to pack it up. She begins inquiring on the small key that they were told to bring with their other supplies and how it doesn't seem to have a purpose. Everyone else discounts her curiosity, and they all head to bed. Well, except Ashley. She grabs the camera and sets out to explore, finding her way to a door labeled Back Doors.
Sweet
After
Ashley.
realizing that her key fits the lock, she heads back there to ease her curiosity.
This is bigger than I thought. I don't think I have room time, so I'll just try and peek around indoors and see what's inside. There are a ton of empty rooms with boring stuff. I came across this door, which was open. Kinda weird. Anyway, this room seems to have some spare endo pieces, and from the looks of it, some...
Welcome back, Kyle.
Animatronics, I guess? I won't go into detail about what I find, since I'm in a rush, of course, and... room number 26 or 27, I think. As you can see here, there are some spare heads. Nothing I'm interested in, to be honest. This is the last door. I've never seen this clown thing before. Like, there's absolutely no way I'm getting close to that thing. I'll probably wait till you guys see this video and come down here with me so we can take a close.
Oh shit, nice. Sorry, Rana.
I found this. I'm pretty sure that clown thing had a cassette player installed. So I guess I'll have to be brave and try and see what this whole thing is. I don't really know why this dude has a cassette player thing installed. But my guess is that it's used for birthday parties, like, you know, play a customized tape or something? I don't know. But we're about to find out.
I remember this.
Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, Sophie.
Poor sweet Ashley.
Hello, I'm Billy, the funny movie clown.
Alright, let's unpack this. Ashley ventures off into the back doors area of the facility.
I didn't see it,
Something
Asuma.
that, given the context, doesn't get explained to new facility caretakers that take on the role. This entire scene is the epitome of curiosity kills the cat, since when she went snooping, she encountered Billy the Clown, who went forth to become her new eternal jail cell. What I find strange is that the tape she found had the word discard written on it, with Jack's disappearance
On Twitter, it's a
above it.
TikTok. Okay, I will
Why
definitely,
would
I
this
will
tape
take a
need to
look
be
after
discarded?
stream.
Could it potentially be activating the
So sorry.
animatronics, making them kill people?
I didn't just automatic
Speaking of
favorite,
killing,
did I?
The names that were read off from the
I'm
tape
gonna feel like an
definitely
asshole if
cause
I
for
did.
concern. Jack, Susan.
Did I like respond or
Charles,
anything?
Rosemary, and Sophie. Now we know that Jack,
I don't remember
Susan,
seeing
and
it.
Rosemary had all gone missing, and we have a suspicion that their corpses have all been stuffed into these animatronics to make them beautiful. Considering that Jack, Rosemary, and Sophie are all part of the Walton family, this leads me to wonder who Charles and Susan are. What's their relation to Bunny Smiles, and why are they included in this ominous list of names? Moving forward, right before the video ends, we get two quick bits of text. Pausing on the latter text gives us a code, which we'll come back to in a second, and pausing on the former reads the following. They left the next day. They thought Ashley left early, but she was in the back doors, screaming as much as she could, but no one heard the screams. The following days, the caretakers would complain about an awful smell coming from the back doors. Company decided to shut down the facility until new advice. The relocate project was unsuccessful. Ashley is still there, but she's not screaming anymore. She saw something she wasn't supposed to see, and now she's beautiful. Admittedly, this really drives home just how large the canine facility is. Ashley was left there, screaming for help, while Bond presumably injured her so badly that she couldn't fight back. And nobody heard her. Nobody noticed she was gone. At least, until the smell of her rotting corpse within Billy filled the air days later. And so it appears that we now have 4 victims. Jack, Susan, Rosemary, and now Ashley. 4 victims.
It seems like we didn't miss like anything. It seems like we did a pretty good job of going through this.
Now back to that code. You know what it is. A YouTube link. So let's head there.
I think that just says how shitty the other 2 guys she was there with were. Yeah, isn't it like kind of out in the middle of nowhere?
The story of Bond's Burgers goes back to 1958, where 2 college students had the same idea of animated performers. Their names were Jack Walton and Felix Crankin. It took them 16 years to actually execute this concept, and by that time, Crankin and Walton had built their own families. Felix married a beautiful lady, and Walton was not only a great husband, but also the happy father of 3 beautiful children. Lucky You is a bit easier to follow than the others. It's 1 tape with 1 archive. The video opens by showing us various dates and highlights from Bond's Burger's short tenure. The opening day is shown to be on the 28th of June, with the first birthday party hosted.
See you later,
just
Oz.
2
Have a
days
good
later.
night. I hope you have a lovely evening.
Interestingly, this is the same day of the month that Susan Woodings went missing. Anyway, the video then shows us the dates of the final Bond's Burger shows, followed by the actual duration that the restaurant was open. It was only 22 days, not even 1 month before it was shut down. Also, it seemed to open 17 days after Jack Walton went missing. A bit strange to open after your co-founder goes missing, isn't it? Moving forward, we can then see that the restaurant was boarded up and abandoned by Halloween. And by
I
January,
feel like in a
the
capitalist
canine facility
society,
was in
no,
full
it is
force.
not that weird to open after one of your
The
co-founders goes
construction of a
missing.
top secret bunker in the middle
I
of the
feel like
woods
some
seems like it would
fucking
take
fat
longer
cat in
than
a
6
suit would
months at
say
maximum.
it's what
Seems
he
a bit
would
like
have
this move
wanted.
was pre-planned. But hey, for all I know, Bunny Smiles could have had this facility in
And
place already
the show
for other
must go
purposes.
on and all of that.
About midway into the video, we can observe it cut to the day that Jack went missing. A voice greets us and states the following.
You must be so confused about what you saw. Don't be scared, my little bunny. Answers will be given eventually, but don't try to solve this puzzle only with the pieces you have so far. This is only the beginning. For I'm going to tell you a story of broken people, beautiful people.
He worked
is
so hard for
sorry
this, yeah.
about what he did to them, but there's nothing he can do. Remember that. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills.
Safety in pills, Sophie. Strangely, this voice keeps repeating that exact phrase while the video cuts to prior death scenes. On top of this, if we fast forward to the very end, we can
Yeah,
observe a
I
message
definitely
to Sophie
definitely think that
They
a
will see you
corporation
soon.
would press on.
Given all these direct messages to her, it's beginning to seem like this tape might have been made for her. Considering that she was Jack's daughter and is confirmed to have worked for BSI at some point in her life, Maybe she witnessed something she shouldn't have, like Bond gruesomely murdering someone. Because of this, we can assume that she may have obtained a prescription somehow to make her feel safe. Whether that safety is to help her cope or to forget it entirely is to be seen. But perhaps we'll get some more context later on. I just wonder why they're so prevalent.
This is looking pretty good. The tension is perfect. I'm glad that I restarted it those 60 times.
Footage is about a 1980s video game created by the company. The reason it took me so long to get this footage was because the game never really released to the public, and all footage available was from the beta version. During October of 1982, a few test bunny farm machines were distributed around Brighton, Michigan, and this footage was from the arcade machine sent to the Enfant Hotel. The two girls playing the game seemed to have lived there, but the weird thing about these machines was that all the footage from the game was recorded and then revised by BSI technicians.
I ran a program that said it would, but also the setup that I'm doing now is like, maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
Footage remaining of the game.
I would just Google the recommended
however.
specs. I just spit everywhere. JL Stooks.
Of a friend of mine.
Thanks so much for the follow, but I appreciate it. You know that feeling when you finally get an itch that you can't reach just because you went like this and it was actually so easy the whole time? That's the feeling that I just got from you following my channel. Thanks.
Bunny Farm.
Thanks for that, bud. Appreciate you.
Being one of the more streamlined episodes in the series, you'd be surprised to know that it's also the longest. By far. The video opens up with the company introductory tape intro sequence, followed by numerous
Everybody
cuts
make
to
sure that
various
JL
points
Stooks
within the
feels
Walton
welcome.
Files series. Strangely, we can see a sad girl overlaid onto this footage, and if we look closely, we can also spot a brief news sequence from a local 57 about an incident that occurred in the St. Juanas forest. The same forest in which Brian Stells was left for dead by Bond. After this, we're notified that the photo of this girl is Sophie, before we see that of another named Jenny Letterson and the date this footage was taken.
Titchery.
This was
Thank you so much.
After the Brian Stells
Did you
incident,
recently change your name? Your
recent
name is
footage
ringing
in
a
the series
bell
thus far.
for me.
The game launches. Ginny explains to Sophie that the machine that they're playing on was recently installed
Thank you
in the
so
basement of
much.
the building they're living in, the Infant Hotel, and that it was just one of a few units that Bunny Smiles created for testing. Curiously, if we head back to the title screen, we can see that development on this game started in 1975, a year after Bond's Burgers had shut its
I'm
doors.
so glad you're covering Nexpo
The
content. I
exact
love
reason why they
Nexpo.
closed is still
I love
mostly
him.
unclear, but I find it interesting that they proceeded with development nonetheless. Anyway, the two joke around a bit before Sophie makes a file and begins the game. Before she can actually play though, we can see a brief intro sequence that sets the premise for the Bunny Farm storyline. Apparently, a fruit festival's occurring, however none of the characters have any fruits around.
Okay.
Luckily though, a Pete the Hippo has a barn full of any fruits
My
you
bad.
need, and will grant you access to it if
I
you help out
appreciate you all the same. Thank you so,
Seems
so
simple
much.
enough,
I,
yeah.
I don't know why I said all the same as
Let's
if
see
I
how it
would
played out.
love you more if you did change your name. Very silly. I apologize.
You know, something I like about the game is the artwork. I don't know why, but there's something about it that seems really familiar to me.
Huh.
I really want to voice act
Right.
for one of
I
these.
should show you the controls so you don't have a hard time playing later on.
I feel like
Okay,
a
okay,
shitty
so
asshole
you use
every
this to
time
move
I
around.
listen because I'm always just like, I could have done so much better.
Okay.
Please hire
And you
me.
use these buttons to interact with stuff.
Yeah.
I almost just said that rabbit has a fruit.
Yeah, I
He's
played this
only
game for a
care.
while, a few days ago, and
So here, Ginny explains to Sophie that the game's super unfinished, hammering home its potential for glitches and bugs. Strangely though, Sophie seems to be unaware of anything she's doing or who the characters even are in this game, which I find incredibly suspect considering that she worked for BSI in some capacity and is one of the founder's daughters.
Hi, babe.
You would think that if her father were to go missing after having pretty substantial involvement with Bob's Burgers,
no, thank
that
you.
she'd at
I
least
appreciate
acknowledge
you.
their existence. It's like she doesn't even know them, like she's forgotten everything and shut it out completely. I just wonder if something might have helped with that. Interestingly, a few moments later, Sophie puts these suspicions to bed, making passing references to the pills that we've seen throughout the previous tapes.
Yeah. Thing is, the pills have been making me forget a lot of stuff from my teenage years and my childhood, and, like, I started taking them for a reason, but I really don't want to think about it.
So her memory's confirmed to be
Damn it.
suppressed, but that opens an entirely new door of questions. Like,
there we go.
Remember that phrase Shaw spit out in the Relocate Project tape? Remember how out of place it was?
Sophie, where am I?
Something lured her backstage. But what if it wasn't Bon? But Sophie? If we think back to the company introductory tape, we can recall that one brief segment where little Bon lit the lighter and glitched into Sophie in a work uniform. What if this is what greeted Rosemary when she went backstage, meaning that Sophie had a direct hand in her death? If this is true, then that leaves us wondering if she did this willingly or was coerced into doing so. Just a few thoughts, but perhaps we'll get
Okay, we didn't pick up on any of that when we covered this. Bussy. Yeah, I remember. That's exactly what it fucking sounds like, dude.
Ginny explains that a person named Brian had recently gone missing, and how the case is similar to that of this other girl named Ashley, who met the same fate.
BSI? Bunny Smiles Incorporated.
Have I heard that name before?
I mean, that company has been pretty relevant these past few weeks. Didn't you hear?
What happened?
Some weird rumors and shit. Apparently there was this one employee that drove to some forest a few days ago. Not too far away from here, actually. He hasn't been seen around ever since he drove to that place.
Really?
Yeah. The word got out quickly. Some family members say it was his first day.
Well, what's his name?
Brian, I think?
Well, I hope he's doing alright.
Clearly word's gotten around about these mysterious disappearances, and I find it strange that Sophie discounts it so heavily. I don't know, if I were to be playing a game that were tied to so many peculiar incidents, I'd be a bit apprehensive. But that's just me.
Again,
After this,
me.
Ginny then
I'm
claims
just
that she
kidding.
needs
I'm
to
sorry.
head
That
out
was
to finish
stupid.
a paper, leaving Sophie alone in the basement.
I was
play the game
just tagging on to Matt's game theory joke earlier.
First, we need to get the party hats. They should be in the big. Alright. Good track. Now we need.
Love this. Isn't that clear even though?
Alright. How do I...
And so Sophie presses on, occasionally expressing confusion and apprehension at the glitches that appear on screen. It weirds her out, but it doesn't stop her. Anyway, she eventually makes her way to the end of Billy
Doxy
the Clown's
ARG
level
win.
and
I
plays
would
a game
love
of tic-tac-toe.
to.
After
I would
beating him,
absolutely
Jack's
love to
face
take
appears
part in
before
an
the game begins to
ARG.
glitch out, showing Ashley's mutilated face within the Billy character.
Jenny? Restart the level. Christ. Never mind.
Sophie hangs it up for the night. She's seen enough. One night later. Sophie decides to play again, however realizes that her save file has been corrupted by a third party. This screen proceeds to warn us that if we continue, then the machine could suffer major changes and even a complete shutdown. A bit tense, she agrees and begins to play again. Her mood is almost a complete 180 from the previous night, and the game reflects that. Sophie goes forth to interact with the signpost that previously mentioned Pete the Hippo running the farm. However, this time, for a fraction of a second, we're able to read that it's been altered. He promised to take care of the two kids during that day. He told the parents everything was okay. It's sad that we can't really remember you, Sophie, but soon we'll be together, forever and ever. Rest in peace. The two lovely red children. May 11th, 1962 to May 2nd, 1974. August 22nd, 1965 to May 2nd, 1974.
Never forget that true happiness comes within. That's why farts feel so
appear
good.
Sophie actually read it.
I
because
love
she
it.
carries on as usual.
Hi, Kool-Aid. How are
Let's
you?
keep this weird message in mind.
Good to see you.
A few moments later, she begins Banny's game called Hippo House. The premise of this one involves rallying up the pigs that Banny mistakenly let out.
Wouldn't it be funny if I opened the cage? I think it would be really funny. I think it would be really, really funny. Yeah, I think I'm gonna open the cage now. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a recap of the Walton files.
Oh no, Banny! What have you done? All the pigs have escaped to the Hippo House.
Banny, you dumb bunny.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to help.
And so we carry on to solve this problem. Thanks, Banny. You bunny. So Sophie continues, making passing references to the glitches she's been encountering thus far. She mentions how it seems like the faces she's seeing in the game are trying to talk to her somehow, before the game cuts out, playing the following recording from Susan Woodings.
BSI Technical Support Audio Log Number 3.
I forgot about
30th,
Susan.
1974. Jeremy's birthday party finished an hour ago. I decided to stay and help the employees clean the place. This week has been strange, especially because of the opening. I find it weird that they opened the place even though Mr. Walton disappeared a few weeks ago. I hope he's doing alright. Rosemary came in today and asked if we'd seen him around. I'm pretty worried about it. Felix seems very concerned and worried too. Anyway, the birthday party, yes. Everything went according to plan. This was the first birthday party in the restaurant, and I feel it turned out pretty well. I noticed a few irregularities in the stage and in the audio animatronics. As the engineer and the person who basically built the animatronics to begin with, it was easier to notice these, especially in Bond. Something fell off. The limbs weren't moving properly. They looked stiff and odd, mainly in his right arm. It'll take a few more minutes to take him to backstage, just to make sure everything's okay. I'm the only one left. Chris left some hours ago, and Felix didn't even show up. I'll leave and close the restaurant when I'm finished. I'm sure it's not going to take long.
You whisper in your underwear, okay, and just like with really bad breath. Jeez Louise. Y'all, settle down. Also, the beginning of the song Must Have Been Love is immediately what I thought of with Lay a Whisper on My Pillow. That's how you get pink eye. Oh my god! Same brainwave, Azuma. I refuse to settle down. I will settle up only. Okay, give me your money. Let's settle up.
Given what we just watched, we're able to establish the connection between Susan Woodings and the BSI animatronics. She built them and noticed irregularities in Bond. It seems that, as a result, soon after this was recorded, she set out to repair him, however was mangled and paralyzed in the process. I am still alive, but I can't move, and I'm having trouble breathing, and my stomach feels weird. This drives home the point that Susan Woodings was placed inside a Banny, but that leaves us wondering if it were due to Bond always having irregularities, or if someone tampered with them. Considering that this was filmed on the 30th of June, 19 entire days after Jack Walton went missing, that notion wouldn't exactly
How much do I owe
be
you
out
for
of the
this
realm
amazing
of
callous
possibilities.
creepy crochet crafting content? Jeez Louise.
Sophie
Nice.
continues.
You owe me
She makes her
absolutely
way around
nothing,
the farm,
Sethada.
expressing confusion and
That'll be
concern about what she
$0
just
in all
witnessed.
of your love.
Soon after, though, she makes her way to the mailbox, encountering a strange sequence of messages from
Can I borrow a couple of
Crankin, whose
snugs?
name was oddly scratched out and replaced with Thompson. Unfortunately, most of the narrative on these pages are redacted. However, we can piece together bits of the story through the ones that aren't.
October 30th, 1964. Felix has been acting weird lately. He's been drinking more than usual. I'm very worried about him. I don't know what to do.
You'll try to get me the snugs? Okay, I appreciate it.
I know I haven't
Cough
talked to him
Prime
as I used
sub
to.
cough.
This month has been
Legit, if
so,
anybody has a
so crazy.
Prime sub laying around,
I
I'll
moved in
take
with
it off
Felix
your hands,
last
that's for
week. He
sure.
was
If it
very
doesn't have
happy
a
about it.
warm and cozy
Yesterday,
home.
Jack and Rose had their third child, a little girl. Her name is Molly.
Thanks to
Molly
Aaron
Walton.
earlier, we're
Jack
only
and
like
Felix have been pitching up their
10
restaurant
away
idea
from
with
our
a
monthly
company that's
goal, and
interested
it's
in the
not even
project.
halfway
Named Cyberfun
through April.
Tech.
We're 11 away, technically, but it's still,
December 26th,
that's crazy.
1970.
I don't post
Christmas
the
was
monthly
nice.
goal anymore
We built a
because
doll, a gray
I just,
rabbit for
I don't know, I
Molly.
feel so fucking
named it
greedy
Puppet.
doing that. I
Felix
feel
drank a
greedy
lot yesterday.
having like a
This has been a problem
donation
for a
goal
while.
for supplies
He's
and
a
a
good
fucking
person, but he doesn't
sub
wanna
goal
address
and
this.
all
It's
that
getting
stuff.
worse and
It
worse,
just feels
but
bad.
He doesn't notice. He feels bad about it, but doesn't try to change.
I don't pay money to Amazon, so no, fair
January
enough.
3rd, 1973.
I try
It's
to
getting
avoid it
worse.
as much as possible
He's so
myself.
submerged with their project that he doesn't realize how much damage he's doing to himself. How much damage
At the
he's
other
doing
end of
to
the
me.
country.
He keeps going places only
But
to
it's
drink.
in your name,
Sometimes he
Snuggles.
even stays at the warehouse for the sole purpose of drinking. He doesn't listen. He never listens. I don't know what to do. May 2nd, 1974. Dear Felix, by the time you're reading this, I shouldn't be home. I know you're confused. I'm confused too. What you said to me last week hurt me a lot, but it opened my eyes. Hopefully, this opens your eyes too. Our relationship isn't healthy. It never was. I'm leaving
Dogs
Brighton
that equals
this morning.
entertainment with no ethical
You're in the
conundrums.
warehouse with Jack and the others as
Well,
I'm writing this. By the time you're
it depends
reading
on your
this,
political
I'll already be in
ideology. Because I
I know you
am
were busy
queen
today
of the
doing
trash
Jack a favor.
lords.
Something related to a school party.
And
Can't remember, but please go there when you have
I know
the
a lot of
time.
people are anti
As for me, I'll try to
monarchies.
build my own life while I still can. And you should do that too. I love you. Goodbye, Linda.
Here, we gain our first bit of insight into the backstory of Felix Crankin, someone we've had our suspicions about from the very beginning. As it turns out, he struggled with alcoholism, ultimately leading to the separation between him and his now ex-wife, Linda Thompson. On top of drinking, allegedly Felix was overworking himself, causing damage to not only himself, but to those around him. It seemed that, as an act of goodwill, he built a rabbit doll named Rocket for Jack's youngest 2 kids, Ed and Molly. Keep these names in mind, as they'll be important shortly. Moving onward, Sophie eventually makes her way to Buzu the Ringleader's minigame, called Lily's Birthday. The premise of this one involves winning matching minigames against Buzu to test the entertainment for the upcoming party. Sophie obliges. However, things don't quite go as planned.
I think the perfect political structure cannot exist or has not been found yet, and monarchy would make it so that a political system could work without having to go for quick wins that assure re-election in like 4 years. That's true. Don't worry, nobody is trashier than me. There's no need for elections. I will always be the trashiest.
The difference and is pretty
I'll always be the
self-explanatory.
trashiest one.
After a few rounds, though, the game glitches, displaying the... Actually, I'll just let you experience it on your own.
Congratulations! You completed my game. Now, time for the prizes.
Yeah, you guys are all garbage knights.
Missing wheel, 714,
the trash queen's guard.
Missing wheel, 714, missing wheel,
Missing 0714. It seems to me that the face in that game isn't actually Jack Walton like I initially assumed, since for him, he went missing on the 11th of June, not the 14th of July. With this in mind, if we think back to the end of the Relocate Project video, the names on that list were
Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, Sophie.
So we know that this isn't Jack or Sophie, and we also know that Susan and Rosemary's corpses are stuffed inside other animatronics. The only name remaining is Charles, leaving me to wonder how they're related to PSI or anyone in this entire saga at all.
The glove
Anyway,
man from
back to
yesterday.
the
Oh,
farm.
yeah.
Sophie continues.
The Halifax glove
Ominously
guy.
quiet and littered with missing posters, she explores a bit while expressing concern that she just might know the people within the posters the game's been showing her. A short while later, she approaches Pete's barn before the game glitches, displaying one last minigame for her to complete.
Have
That
fun
of
serial
Sean
killing,
Lamb,
Quinn.
The same animatronic we know to represent her
See you
mother.
next week.
The minigame this time is simply hide and seek, and initially has Sophie's character finding Shaw.
I need to find a sheep.
I'm very
After
sleepy
she
all of a
eventually finds
sudden.
her, we can observe the game switch sides to where
Darkwing
Sophie's the one
Duck!
and from here on,
I
this
fucking
is
love
where things
Darkwing
quickly
Duck.
turn dour.
Let's get dangerous. Oh my god. Flooding me with memories. Had a few questions about mod stuff put in Discord. I will look right now. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that.
Am I still beautiful to you, Sophie? I know you. Found you.
Yeah, all of that's great. And once an hour is perfect. Thank you so much.
As we could see, when Shaw approached us, the screen cut to what I'm assuming to be the night that Rosemary went missing, with the text reading, "I know where he is, Rosie. Follow me."
We should do that with the Discord
Now,
too.
initially I'd assumed that this were someone else, like the voice of Vaughn, since they're referring to her as Rosie. However, thinking back on that scene from the Relocate Project tape, perhaps this text could represent the voice of Sophie. After this, we're greeted by another countdown, and when it finishes, we observe the following.
Easy listening.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
5, 10, 15, 20. We're like over halfway done. Right? Give me the rose gold.
It seems to
Give
me
me the
that that
rose
entire section
gold.
represented the night that Rosemary Walton went missing through the eyes of Sophie. With the bloody Shaw animatronic right up in our face, screaming and pleading for mercy, it really seems like we're experiencing things in first person. This scene is undisputedly traumatic, and witnessing something like this would undoubtedly leave someone scarred for life. With that being said, considering that Sophie's name was uttered by Shaw earlier, that Sophie's actively taking pills that we know suppress her memory, and that in that Lucky You tape, the voice claims
Looks like she
safety
met the
in
chimp
pills
from
over
last
and
stream.
over.
Holy
It's
shit.
safe
Yeah,
to assume
Travis
at
the
this
chimp
point
likes
that Sophie
faces.
must have been there. And so the question remains, did she willingly lure her mother back there? Or was she forced to? Jumping forward, we witness a gray bear character emerging from their so-called fountain of memories. Sophie goes forth to ask who they are, to which they respond by drawing the following picture. After this, the game glitches once more and the bear vanishes. A few seconds later though, we're greeted with the picture of a house labeled May 2nd, 1974, and on the doorstep, 2 children. Sophie claims to remember it.
That's my old house. I
Hello,
think.
Vaughn. I'm so glad you're here to help me clean the code base. All that's left to do is just...
That phone call is from Jack Walton to Felix Crankin. Jack asks for a simple favor, to take his kids Ed and Molly to their school event since he and Rosemary are caught up in other errands.
Tonight. A school party and they have no one to pick them up. I need to stay at the workshop to finish the paperwork, and Rose is taking Sophie to the dentist. We were wondering if we could pick them up for the event and take them home later. Tonight? Yeah, if it's possible, of course.
Admittedly, the task is simple. Pick them up at 5 to take them there and bring them back home at 9. Reluctant, Felix agrees before the call ends.
Wouldn't you want to
And
do
so,
something
the game
entirely
leaves us back in the
original,
farm area once more.
Azuma?
After poking around a bit, Sophie eventually encounters the 2 red children, and upon interacting with them, we gain a
What
bit more
about-
context about the night of that favor.
Animals that communicate with humans and also with ghosts. Appreciate ya. Kool-Aid, thank you so much. Yeah, Slender Man is pretty well retired.
That's Ed and Molly.
After this brief segment, we begin playing in the school at what appears to be 9:37 p.m. Rocket approaches us and says to follow. After exploring a bit, we eventually glitch through a wall and become those two kids who, surprisingly, have not been picked up yet. Soon after, we encounter Rocket and are shown a scene involving the two kids expressing that they're ready to leave since the school looks creepy at night. "Where's Uncle Felix?" they claim. And so we set out to find him.
Lots of found footage, abandoned places. Hell yeah. Backrooms and other found footage are getting played hard now today as well. It's true. Yeah, that shit is supreme.
Shortly after, the scene cuts
The
to
chicks will
9:53
scream.
p.m. and involves Felix and the two kids in the car. They inquire on getting home safely before pressing Felix about drinking before this trip.
I love you, babe.
The speed of the car picks up, with Felix becoming more and more erratic. The children forgive him for his behavior. However, ominously, the text on screen states that it's all your fault before the following takes place.
Thanks, Molly.
Oh no, you got the bad ending. I don't remember that. That's a little bit funny. I haven't watched all the one
I
with the
believe
pools,
this,
but
right
that
here,
one was a little
marks
creepy.
the beginning of the end of the
This is
relationship
an empty
between
place.
Jack
I don't
and
know what you're
Felix.
talking about.
Jack's children
I want to know what you're
were
talking
killed,
about.
and it was due to Felix's own irresponsibility in getting them home safely. Even more bizarrely, soon after this bad ending sequence plays out, we can observe a scene with Rocket the Rabbit in the woods, with the voice ominously claiming that they didn't go home that night. He buried them here. He was too scared. But they found a way out eventually.
You have 25 new messages. Felix, pick up the phone. Now, I need you to pick up the phone. It's been 3 hours since I told you to get Ed and Molly home. What happened to my children? If anything happened, Felix, you must tell me. You haven't told me in 3 hours. I need to know what's going on. I'm trying to call you all night. What the hell is wrong with you? I've been trying to contact you all night. I've been calling everyone for you. Just what the hell is wrong with you? 3 hours, you didn't call. I asked you to do one simple favor for me. I need to know, where are they? Where did you...
And to cap off this last entry in the Walton Files saga, we're left with a message.
That's not all, is it? There's still something you forgot to remember. They've been waiting for you.
Before we're greeted with 4 animatronics. Benny, Buzu, Shah, Bon. Considering that this series is very much in progress, This message could be hinting at the future. Is this little girl popping up around Bond's Sophie, or is it someone else that we haven't seen yet? For all we know, this could even be some sort of warning, given that, so far, this game's done nothing but help Sophie remember the past that she's been forced to forget. She's the last alive member of the
I
Walton
wonder if
family,
it's Molly.
and I'm not entirely sure if remembering and re-experiencing the deaths of her entire family are a good or a bad thing. It looks like we'll have to see.
Are you getting ready to finish up in here?
Yep. Are you ready to take stuff?
I can go live right now.
All right. Oh, wait. Babe, hold on. Let me see. There's 16 minutes left.
In memory of Edward and Molly Walton.
Okay.
Ed and Molly died Thursday, May 2nd, 1974, in a fatal car accident. They were leaving a party made by their school to celebrate spring. Jack Walton couldn't take his kids to the celebration because of work. A friend of Mr. Walton would take the kids instead. On the way back home, Jack's friend was driving in questionable conditions, thus crashing his car near the road next to the St. Juanis forest. Instantly, both Edward and Molly's lives were taken. You will be remembered, our little angels, our little red children. Now, you might be wondering where this hidden tape came from, and conveniently, the answer's simple. It was left in the Walton Files playlist on the Martin Walls channel, implying that it's canon. The premise of this one appears to be an audio archive of former events surrounding Felix Crankin, with the first segment taking place on April 15th of 1967.
I don't know if we
In
saw
one,
this stuff.
You can hear Felix briefly and enthusiastically discussing Bunny Smiles and how he has a positive outlook for the company. Following this, we get one more from 1972, explaining how his company made a deal with Cyberfun Tech to continue on with the Bondsburgers project. And after this one, we can observe one last audio log from May 2nd of 1974, the same day that Ed and Molly died in that
I
fatal
love
car accident.
Definition.
Within this one,
Definition
Felix
is my brother
expresses
from
his
another
guilt,
mother.
contemplating on what to do.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Alright, it's... yeah.
How's baby?
Messed up. It's been so long since I last used one of these. Last time I used this, I was driving. In the same conditions. I
You're
messed
bouncing
up.
back and forth between Elden Ring
I
and
have a
Tunic
problem.
today.
And
Yeah, I haven't
And
played
this has been
Tunic
a
yet,
problem for
but
so long
I
that
definitely
do
I hear
remember.
good things. I think that I
First time I got
think that I tested it.
I don't remember
like
much stuff.
play test. I saw an alpha build of it at either TwitchCon or some sort of PAX. CB, thank you so
And
much
that,
for the
my
raid.
friends,
I
encompasses
appreciate
the
you. How are
entirety
you?
of the Walton Files.
Everybody, Couchbound
Dark.
Hero is a mod of mine and a friend and a fellow
Complex.
content creator.
Disturbing.
Y'all should give them a follow.
So, in review, this entire series appears to revolve around Jack's eldest daughter, Sophie Walton. She's the core, the one that can maintain this ongoing status quo that Felix Crankin's established, or to burn it all down if she so chooses. She was born into a family of 3, with her mother being Rosemary and her father being the elusive Jack. A few years later, 2 more siblings named Ed and Molly would be born into their family. However, due to events that Felix Crankin had a hand in, they would never, ever experience their coming of age. Felix was a family friend, someone that the Walton family could trust with everything, yet ironically, is also the main antagonist and the one that ended up killing all of them. On May 2nd of 1972, after being asked to do a simple favor by Jack Walton, Felix had become heavily intoxicated at that school party. As we know by now, due to this intoxication, the three became involved in a car accident that ended up killing Ed and Molly. Beaten up and unable to bear the weight of his actions, Felix decides to bury them
Tunic
in a
is
forest.
fantastic, not terribly difficult, so it's a great entry for people new to Souls-like games.
Mistakes
Hell yeah.
entirely. As we know though, the children wouldn't rest there eternally, since
good to
a few
know.
moments later, we observed them merge into that rocket doll, appearing to utilize that as their medium to get their fate across to the viewer. 1 month and 9 days later, on the 11th of June, Jack Walton goes missing. We can observe his missing flyer littered throughout every episode. However, at this point, we're unsure of what exactly happened to him. We have our sneaking suspicion that he could be stuffed into Bon the rabbit, but as of right now, that's merely a theory. Another month passes, and Rosemary Walton's grieving over her missing husband and 2 children at Bon's Burgers. She was likely desperate, weak, and open to anything, any lead she could get on where her family might be. She
Might
hears a voice
avoid
coming from
child
backstage,
murder? Nah.
mentioning that, "I know where he is, Rosie." A voice that we now
We
know
opened
was
this
most likely
stream
that
up
of her
talking
eldest daughter,
about
Sophie.
sacrificing a child.
She heads back there, hoping to gather any
That's
sort
our
of answer
brand,
to ease her
right?
mind, yet is greeted with the face of death.
Child harmers.
She becomes dismembered as some unknown figure observes from the sidelines. It appeared, at least to this silhouette, that Bond's actions were going as planned, as programmed.
Ooh, this is crass
everything
timing
was
to bring it
falling
up, but
perfectly into
definition,
place.
I might be
But that's not to say that
hopefully
these actions
visiting
didn't go
home
unnoticed,
here
since
either
Bond's builder,
late
Susan
this month,
Woodings, had realized
sometime next
irregularities
month,
in Bond just
and if
19
not one
days
of those,
prior.
then definitely the month after
It's clear to
that.
us
I
that
should
he wasn't
be.
programmed to behave this way, and likely was altered
So
in some
I'll let
form
you
or
know as
fashion.
soon as I can, but know
Whether
that you're
that was
gonna
by
have to
Felix
have
or someone else
a
is to
1
be
day and 1
determined.
night
But there was
reserved
ostensibly a notable
for
change
drinking
before
and
Bob's
Disney
Burgers
songs.
ever opened. And so, Susan Woodings is killed because of her realization.
If you
She
can.
knew too
I know
much
you're
and
a
was
dad
silenced
now.
before she could ever get the truth out there. Just 2 weeks after her death, we observe yet another, 5 days before that of Rosemary Walton. We're unsure of the exact identity of this person. However, considering the list of names that Ashley discovered, it's safe to assume that his name is Charles. For now, his relation to the story is unclear. However, I'm betting that his job was in the same vein as that of Susan Woodings, either a
Agree.
builder or a programmer of some sort. Perhaps we'll find out more information about him as this series progresses, but right now, that's what we can roll with. July 20th. Bon's Burgers closes after people reported screams that they heard around 2 a.m. Given the fact that Rosemary Walton was killed on July 19th, it's safe to assume that these screams were most likely her. It seems to me that due to the attention that the restaurant was getting, Felix
Drinking
decided
and
to
Disney
pull the
songs
plug
sounds like
on
a fun
Bon's
night. Oh,
Burgers,
that's me in
storing every
definitions
animatronic inside a
wheelhouse.
top secret facility in the St. Juanas forest. He likely placed it there because that's where Jack's 2 children died
I
and
am
were buried.
on my way.
Either he built it over the spot where
I
he
can
buried
go
them,
the
or
distance.
placed it nearby so we could
I'll be
check up on
there
it whenever he was working.
someday. Fuck yeah,
These are,
you've got a
of course,
cold.
just
Amazing.
theories.
Best
However,
time.
I think it makes a bit of
Woo!
sense.
I'm
Anyway,
truthful though.
it
I'm
seems like
sorry. That
Felix, from
sucks.
the very
Colds are
beginning,
miserable.
had always
I'm so
planned
sorry.
to reopen Bon's Burgers, moving forward with the past quite literally buried behind him. Most likely, the only reason why he shut everything down and locked it up was to lay low for a bit. To let it all pass.
One jump
And
ahead of the
people
law,
moved on,
man.
To bring it right back. 4 years later, and the relocate project
Have y'all ever
is
seen the
finally in
Nick
full swing.
Patero video of him singing
Facility
both parts
caretakers
of
are
that
tasked with the
song?
most dangerous job out of all of them.
Fucking dope.
Reprogramming the robots themselves. Considering the lack of knowledge that
Aladdin
came with
is
Brian
one
and
of the
Ashley,
best fucking
it's
movies
safe to
ever
assume
made. I
this
love that.
facility
I love
caretaker
that
job
movie.
probably was a sketchy one. They likely
Agrabah is
received
such a
little to
fucking
no
aesthetic.
orientation, no tours, and no heads up on what their supplies were actually intended for. Personally, I think that the extent of their training was to simply watch the numerous BSI tapes. Watch the company introductory tape to learn about Bon's Burgers. Watch the numerous archives within the Relocate project to become acquainted with our new mission. And listen to Shaw as she gives you a virtual tour of K9. Because, you know, there's no way in hell that any higher-ups are risking their lives for this. That's what the facility caretakers are for, of course. And so, after all of this is said and done, we're left with one. Sophie Walton. Someone that we know was convinced to take a set of pills to forget that her family had ever existed. And this is where our mystery continues. To me, I really believe that Felix had a hand in suppressing her memories. He just couldn't stomach it. He couldn't kill her.
Drinking and Disney karaoke
Why?
is just it's a
Well,
vibe,
at this point, we're
man.
unsure, but it's safe to say that he's had numerous chances after the fact, yet didn't. And so, with Sophie, after the rapid succession of major losses in her life, she likely didn't know where to turn. She was lost and was plummeting into an ever-darkening mindset due to the onslaught of tragedies she's had to endure. Felix noticed this, and to shut her up, he likely decided to bring her under his wing since he's Uncle Felix, remember? He gives her a job at Bond's Burgers to keep her busy, pushes her to obtain a prescription that he likely claimed would help, made her watch these so-called internal BSI tapes that were littered with hypnotic vernacular.
Safety of pills, Sophie. Safety of pills, Sophie.
And convinced her that, eventually, it would all go away. And it did. It did all go away.
Yeah, so it makes me feel pretty good that all of his shit matches our shit. Like all of
one piece in a breadcrumb
everything that
trail
he
Felix was
thinks
trying to
is
bury.
stuff that we
He
decided.
wanted to move on from this entirely. He continued with the Bond's Burgers project years into the
I
future.
was a little worried that
touting
maybe we
himself as
missed
the
a
only
bunch,
founder
but
of the
it
company,
seems like
quite
Nexpo
literally
thinks
cutting
all
any
the same
mention
shit
of
we
Jack
do.
Walton out of ever existing. The thing is, though, is that whoever created these tapes knows something. They want Sophie to remember. And now that she has, at least as of October 16th of 1982, it leaves us to wonder if she'll be next in line to
Just
meet
an
her
entirely
demise
different
at the hands of
storyline.
Felix Crankin's
Happy and
reprogrammed
hopeful somehow.
animatronics. Just like that ominous facility caretaker Key, Sophie's left as the sole survivor, and sort of a key herself that can open and expose the metaphorical backdoors into Felix Crankin's secrets. Doing this would allow her to finally expose his wrongdoings, ultimately leading to much needed accountability for everything that he did to her family. That is, of course, unless he gets to her first.
Oh fuck, I keep pulling it so close to me. I'm so sorry. Y'all gotta yell at me when I do that. Alright guys, are you excited to watch?
Betrayal.
Are you
Suppression.
guys excited to watch Dungeon Dad
Curiosity.
paint some Dark Souls miniatures?
And death. These are the
He
major
released a really
cornerstones
fucking
of
good
the
video
Walton
today,
Files
by the
tapes,
way.
something that I've become absolutely enthralled by in recent months. It's been quite a while since I've seen a series this well constructed, and I'm immensely eager to see how each
It's
lingering
about a
question
chocolate
becomes answered.
golem.
Like, how did Bond become violent to begin with? Who's putting Jack's face into these tapes? What actually was the fate of Jack Walton anyway?
Excuse me.
Where the hell does
I
Anthony
cannot
fit
believe
into
how
all
tired
this?
I got.
And will Felix Crankin ever answer for the murder cover-up of nearly the entire Walton family? As it stands, and considering that there are more episodes planned, it looks like only time will tell. When these videos do come out though, you can bet your ass that I'll be dropping everything to tune in. And when the time is right, you know that I'll be back. And I'll be ready. For
He
part
will.
2.
He's always ready. Oh, I love him. Just finished part 3 of 9 for my mandala blanket. That's so exciting. Bardic Muse, you should share it in the Discord. We have a Fiber Arts channel. I would love to see your progress so far. Anyway, really quick, just I'm gonna do all of the shilling that I need to do. It's a shame to pause this in the middle of it because it's a nice, fun backdrop, but let's go ahead and pause that. First and foremost, thank you so much to my patrons. I have 3 now. Quinn Kenobi, our friend, Laura, Cody, and Katie Bailey, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Those of you that haven't looked, if you would go take a look at the Patreon, you get no rewards. You get no reward. It's just feel goods for me and you, and I appreciate it. Please follow me on Twitch, or you're on Twitch. Please follow me on Twitter. Twitter.com/ZER0DOXY. Please follow our Discord. It's just a discord.gg/fartslide. And then also, no, that's it. That's everything. Thank you. I would love for you guys to tell me what your favorite letter of the alphabet is in chat. And that way you'll be nice and active, and we can drop a big fat girthy raid over on my partner Dungeon Dad, who is handsome and talented and funny and kind and wise. All right, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. I will see you on Monday. Sorry, AJ, we are raiding Dungeon Dad. I'm so sorry. It's good to see you, though. Welcome back from vacation.